I'm stuck on the name. I cannot, for some reason, figure out what I want to call the new channel. I'm stuck on the name. I cannot, for some reason, figure out what I want to call the new channel. I'm stuck. All right, cool. Everything's working.
We had something stupid last week, right?
There was a bunch of dumb shit we came up with. I probably should have written it all down.
All right. Well, we'll think about it as the show is going on and
come back to it later.
Blurt it out when it occurs to you. When you have an idea, just blurt it out, no matter what's going on, conversation-wise.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Oh, that's why I can't see the chat. Let's see if that's showing up real quick on the stream. I love that it takes like a minute for the fucking stuff to show up because there's that big ass delay. Yep. All right. Cool. Everything is working as needed, as it should work.
All right.
The Mel person DM'd me a bunch of pictures on Discord that I threw in the camera roll. So there are some new stuff for people to peruse if they are perhaps watching. Right now, I don't see anybody in chat, so but I know that bothered Samaj.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! I forgot to send pictures of the pupper.
Oh yeah, you gotta send a picture of your puppy. By the way, you see in Discord there's the video of a fat rat on the grass. This is what apparently happens now that I have seen a couple of those videos of your dog that you're posting. Like I watched a couple of those and now it's like, you want to watch this fat rat hanging out? Like what the fuck?
Wow.
So,
oh shit, that's true. I never looked to see what the recommended would be under my fucking stupid ass videos of my son's dog.
Yeah, I would imagine it's mostly other pets of some kind. Like that just makes sense. And I'm playing the Steam version of Final Fantasy on the stream if anybody's watching.
Yeah.
Real fucking old school from back in the days of Nintendo.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I was looking for.
Oh no, go ahead, finish.
I was looking for emulators, but I couldn't. I couldn't figure out which ones didn't make me sign up for an account and have to like buy games and shit like that. Because
which system? The NES or the?
I mean, Nintendo, PlayStation, whatever I could find, honestly.
Oh, gotcha. Let's see. I know there's a lot of ones for the original Nintendo, and I'm sure there's obviously ones for other ones. But yeah, I'm not familiar with which ones wouldn't need to.
Yeah, I think that the game I was looking for was Final Fantasy Tactics, like specifically. I don't know if you remember that game, but that was a really fun game that just never really went anywhere. Like, they did one sequel and then never did anything else with it.
Yeah, I never got into the Final Fantasy. I think the only one I played, it was weird because there was like magic, but then you were also shooting like everybody had like fucking handguns too.
Oh, that's fucking weird. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's
you know what? Was it on rails? Was it like super on rails? Like you were literally like just flying through like a bunch of shit?
Honestly, I don't remember much beyond the fact that there was magic and handguns.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, so there was an on-rails shooter based on the characters from Final Fantasy VII, and that's the only shooter I can think of that Final Fantasy ever had.
Yeah, no,
which doesn't mean there aren't more, because I only played a few of the Final Fantasy games. I'm not super into the fucking franchise at this point anyway.
No, it definitely wasn't on rails. It was the typical RPG type or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't play it very long. That was
It
back
was
when I
not
had
the
more
best
money
game,
than
if I remember
do.
correctly. Like, it was all right, and if you were a big fan of Final Fantasy, it was worth playing because it had like
Right.
like little little things from the game and shit that you would have recognized, like little member berries.
Right, gotcha.
But just as a game, it was not real great.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't a lot of RPGs that I really got into.
Yeah,
Not
I
since
yeah.
probably the original Nintendo, like the Secret of Mana and games like that.
I don't think I ever played Secret of Mana. I played like Dragon Warrior. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. Or was
I
it
played
Dragon
that whole
Warrior or
series.
Dragon?
Beat every
I
one of
played Dragon.
those.
I played one that was Dragon Quest. That's different, right?
I think that might be the same thing. Was it kind of like a generic fantasy game where like you were like you could pick whatever kind of characters you wanted? Like you could have a fighter, a mage, and a healer and shit like that. Like whatever you wanted to make your party up. And then you could like recruit people in like a little bar kind of thing, and then like train them up, and then you had a certain number of characters you could have, but then your party could only have like 4, so you could like train different types of characters up so that you would have like a choice for wherever you were going.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I just remember it was the typical RPG battle setup. I found annoying. I don't know. I don't like that shit. I just don't.
See, I'm a big fan of RPGs in general, but like there's no particular one I like best or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just prefer the ones where you get to move around a lot. You're not just telling things to attack other things.
Okay, so you definitely would not be a fan of Final Fantasy Tactics.
No, like I love like Skyrim or fucking whatever, Just,
yeah, I dig what you're saying.
Action
well, Final Fantasy Tactics is not really well. It's sort of like an RPG because there is a storyline, but it's more like playing several games of very complicated chess.
Gotcha.
Because like they have characters, you have characters. The whole map is broken up into a grid, and you got to decide like where to move your characters and what ability to use, and then like kill the other guys before they kill you with the same thing. It was a lot of fun, but I could definitely see that not appealing to somebody who's just into like exploring a world or something with like that much freedom. Although to be fair, in Nintendo days there wasn't like open world games. It just wasn't any way to make them.
Final Fantasy 14, it looks like.
Oh, Final Fantasy 14 is the one you were playing?
Wait, no, this was a long time ago. This was when I was living in like Flagstaff, I'm pretty sure. So it would have been like 02 or 03.
I have no idea when 14 came out. That could be completely reasonable or totally nonsense. I literally have no idea. So
let's see. I'll find the wiki of it, dude. That'll tell me.
There you go. Did not sleep much last night, so forgive the yawning.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, I'm thinking of a new atrocity to commit against food.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Apple quesadilla. Take like a tortilla, put down some like Swiss cheese, throw down very thin slices of apple, throw a little bit more Swiss cheese on the top so it'll hold itself together, and then you're good to go.
Why Swiss?
Swiss and apple go together really well. Swiss is kind of a very mild cheese, and it just complements the apple because apple's super mild.
I thought cheddar goes with like an apple pie, right?
Maybe I'll do Swiss on one side and cheddar on the other, and kind of.
Yeah, or just make one of each and see how.
Yeah, one of each and see how it goes. That's not a bad idea. I like this idea. This is probably going to happen now. We did do soft tacos the other day, so I don't even have to make like big ass full sized quesadillas. I can just make a couple of small quesadillas one of each and try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an apple makes a lot of fucking apple slices.
Yeah, especially if you're slicing them nice and thin, like for...
Yeah, because I'm thinking like a 1/4 inch thick slices of apple, because otherwise it'll be too thick and too wet to like hold together cohesively, and it'll just be like a soggy tortilla and gross as fuck. You know?
Yeah.
Same as like you don't want to put too much meat in a quesadilla, or it becomes a whole different kind of food. You know, like the part of the appeal is that there's not a whole lot there, and it's like mostly just like crispy, crunchy, and the texture kind of thing. You know.
I'm obsessed with figuring out what Final Fantasy game I played.
I'm pretty sure it was something to do with one of the characters from Final Fantasy VII, and it was a shooter, because that's the only one I know of, but I don't know. Let's see if there's anybody in chat.
Oh, it's 14 is online. There's no way that was right. Okay, so not 14.
No, there's no chat. Nobody's watching. So we don't have anybody who's smarter than us, which is unfortunate, because we're not the brightest. Is that a fucking YouTube channel? Hold up.
What happened?
Nah, I just like, is We're Not the Brightest a YouTube channel?
Oh, okay.
Didn't that sound appropriate though? We're not the brightest.
Yeah. Oh, 87.
Oh, there's already a Not the Brightest YouTube channel, but there isn't a We're Not the Brightest channel. Alright, let's see if I can, let's see.
Ooh, Final Fantasy. No, this ain't gonna tell me. I give up. I no longer care. Yeah. Maybe if I look at the covers, because I mean, I would assume they would have to have guns in the fucking in the art. Cover art. There you go.
Oh, wait, let's see here. Oh, you can't put capitals in. Alright, that's weird.
Oh no, the title's there.
Let's see. I can't figure.
Story follows 4 youths called the Warriors of Light, who each carry one of their world's 4M elemental crystals, which have been darkened by the 4 elemental fiends. I like that word, fiend. Together, evil forces restore light to the crystals and save their world. All right. Okay, that's enough of that shit.
Yeah, you're looking for Final Fantasy VII. There's a character named, I think it's like Vince or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that in there, Vincent or something. Vincent's gun. But yeah, I remember him like dual wielding the fucking guns. Like they were doing magic and like shooting fucking handguns.
Huh.
Quite possible I'm thinking of something that's not even Final Fantasy, but I don't think I am. Like I know it's not Devil May Cry I'm thinking of, because that kind of sounds like it would be the same thing. Because yeah, I've definitely played at least one of the Devil May Cry games.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Fuck it!
So, okay, I got the name We're Not the Brightest. That'll be our new YouTube channel. And I'll figure out how to, like, make everything work and set it all up.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I'll change the password because I was staring my screen the entire time we were doing that, although nobody's watching, so it'll probably never matter. But I'm literally watching myself create it right now with the password, which is good.
Shit, looks like I only have a few pictures of the puppy still.
Oh, yeah? Well, there's a fuck ton of videos on YouTube.
No, those are videos, dude. I'm talking about like still pictures that for you to throw into the, update the whatever you're playing on the screen there.
Yeah. Oh, so I didn't get We Aren't the Brightest. I got We're Not the Brightest. Or no, I got We Aren't the Brightest is what I got. So.
Okay.
Instead of We're Not the Brightest. Just because I couldn't make We're with the apostrophe, so it would just look real fucking dumb.
Alright.
It would look like We're Not the Brightest, which is kind of funny in its own right, but, like... Oh, everything is so tiny that they would have to really work at getting it.
Shit.
Alright, I'm not too worried.
Like, would I have to send these to you in a message, or can I just post them in the Discord?
If you want to put pictures up, post them in the Discord.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying if you want to use them for the montage or whatever that I got going, like okay.
Let me turn that off. Go back into the Discord. Yeah, you can just put them in the Discord. You don't have to message them directly to me. I can download them. Whatever you post, I can download.
Okay, I figured that.
It's really, really easy, yeah. Like, it'd actually be easier just to download them straight from wherever you post them on the Discord, because, like, there's less steps for you involved, and it would be exactly the same for me either way.
Alright, cool. Alright, yeah, you're under no obligation to use any of these, but
I will use whatever you send me. I'll just, like, put it in there now, actually, so, like... I'm not like, oh no. Right. Of course, now I finally put new pictures in the Roland Samaj just in here. Kind of funny. Oh, Satan's still on his I'm committing suicide really slow kick.
Oh yeah.
Like he just messaged today. He's like, I'm just speeding up my normal suicide by drinking thing or something like that. 'Cause the commie guy wants to hang out with him.
Oh, Lyman.
Dude, honestly, I think if they ever met, Lyman might blow him. I'm not entirely ruling that out. And to be honest, I think if Lyman was on here, he'd be like, well, I mean, maybe. I'm sure so. It is a cute dog. I mean, very, very like central casting dog. Like if you were to be like, we need a puppy, and they brought that, you'd be like, that's perfect.
It's fucking adorable, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it has what you would need for like a YouTube channel to blow up just because of it. Although that would be hella funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely not my intent. I was really just wanting to free up space on my phone, but fuck, you never know. Cute animals.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have no idea, because sometimes, like, animals that you think would definitely blow up just because of the level of cute factor on it, and do nothing, and then sometimes, animals that you're like, that's fucking hideous.
Yeah, why
suddenly become, like, massively popular. So, who fucking knows?
Yeah, I think the one that had the most views, I accidentally uploaded one as a short instead of just a regular video.
Yeah.
And it had like 57 views or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably the key.
That's not too bad. I saw like a what do you call it? A really excellent little tip for somebody who's got to lay down like paving stones or something.
Yeah.
And like that had 6 views. I was like, why does that not have so many more views? That's actually pretty fucking smart. And it was just, like, you say you got like bricks or something to lay down. It was a thing where you just take your regular hoe and use that to like carry the bricks around. And then it's real easy to just tip them out of it, and then pop them into place real easy with your foot, like just kind of nudge them a little. And 7 views, and you're like, wow, that was actually like a really smart idea this dude came up with and posted. So sad that that's probably never going to get the friction it deserves, and the shit where I saw this little YouTube short where somebody kind of pointed out the thing that's always bothered me about those life hacks.
Oh, right.
It's like 99 out of 100 times you're like, that's great. I mean, if they even work, most of them are all bullshit anyway that don't really work. But like 99% of the time, it's trying to accomplish something like you don't need and never will.
Right.
You're like, oh, that's great, but why do I need a wire like arbitrarily attached to the middle of a piece of wood? Like what's the point here? I don't understand.
Yeah. A lot of those are fucking just bullshit.
I
really should have filmed whatever movements I was making to freak the dog out. The last video that I uploaded, where he kept
trying to make the next big dance craze.
Dude, it would probably freak like humans out too, I would imagine.
If you just did it with like no context, like you're like, you're just at the store picking up some fucking like milk or some shit, and you're like, start fucking twitching at the person. They'd be like, "All right, you need to leave, please." Like, do you have a disease? God. Is there a reason for this? Yeah. I don't know what it looked like, but I'm assuming it was goofy looking at the very least.
Yeah, I'm kind of hopping back and forth from one leg of the X, and then I have my arms up wide and like shaking my head. Yeah, you can imagine.
Your son could always hold the camera for you.
Yeah, that's true. But then and
you could wear like a mask. I mean, masks are in, right? I'm sure you still got some laying around from the beginning of COVID. One of those face masks. You could be the masked dancer.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd probably be that'd be a good one for YouTube too. Like,
you know what's crazy is that dog does that like on his own sometimes. Just all of a sudden, he'll start fucking running around the yard like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never know what sets him off, dude. I'm like, I wonder if he's eating something that's getting him high and he's just freaking out.
Maybe he's just one of those like not delusional ADHD dogs. Delusional.
Aren't all dogs though? Kind of.
Well, I mean, especially when they're puppies. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's just a puppy thing where he's fucking crazy. It's like kittens, except kittens are a little more murderous when they're having their weird little kitten fantasies.
Right. Shit.
Are you kidding me? What was that? Was that a bad pun?
I'm sure Satan would approve it.
Oh, Satan would love my pun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that thing on his face. Like, it seems to be fine, although all the hair fell off, which I guess shouldn't be that surprising, and pretty much guarantees that it was a fucking sting.
Some sort of sting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's no discoloration and pus like building under it, you're probably fine. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it's completely gone.
Yeah, that's what I figured would probably happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but when we first noticed it, dude, I was like freaking out, man. Jesus.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I mean, it'd be like if your kid walked in with a big old scrape on their leg and there's a whole bunch of blood all up and down their leg. At first, you'd be like, "Holy shit! There's so much blood! What the fuck is going on?" And is my child dead?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh no. And then it'd rapidly be like, oh, okay, it's just a scrape after you clean it up, and like, all right, we'll just throw a Band-Aid on there, he'll be fine.
All right, I don't want to talk about him too much, but dude, okay, one last thing about my dog, my son's dog. Sorry. Okay, so today he grabs the tennis ball, right? Like when I first took him out earlier, he drops the ball and then he just starts peeing. But the ball is right in mid fucking, like mid of his body, so he's pissing it. Like not on purpose, but then he went to go pick it up, right? Like he got his mouth like almost around it, and then he backed off and like sniffed it, and then he would not pick it up.
That's a sign of a fucking intelligent dog, honestly. Like,
well, I don't know. He peed on it to begin with, so not too smart.
Well, yeah, not a genius dog, but an intelligent dog who's like, whoa, dude, there's pee all over that ball. I don't know where that came from, but I ain't touching it. Like, leave me out of the whole peeing on the ball thing, boss.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks you did it.
I rinse it off with the hose. So
he's like, Datewad, why did you pee on my tennis ball?
He's like, all right. He's like, fuck you. I got another one. I'm gonna go get the orange one.
Oh, is there an orange ball too? That's always good to have.
Yeah, my son found it somewhere. I don't know where the fuck he said he found it, but yeah, it was, and it looked like one that was not designed for tennis. It looked like it was designed for dogs or whatever. But yeah, it's funny, dude, because he tries to get both of them, and there's no fucking way. You know what I mean? Like,
where they try to
yeah, and again, the dog's nature is to want the one that they don't have yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they try to get that porn star thing going. Like, how many balls can I fit in my mouth? Yeah, take a picture of me now, daddy.
Dude, he breaks off. He'll break off branches from a tree or from a bush or whatever, and he fucking strips the leaves and he just chews it like you would chew a bone and shit. He had last time he managed to get one of those in his mouth. That was probably a good 1.5 to 2 feet long, and he had the ball in his mouth. So he had the branch and the ball in his mouth.
Damn.
But of course not. I tried to get it on camera, but he dropped one of them too quick. All right, I'll shut up about the dog. Oh shit, dude! I could not find the fucking Kanye rant, dude.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I never did see that. Yeah.
Really, really trying to memorize all that.
They're fucking suing him, right?
Yeah, who is?
The what's his name? What's their name? The
ADL or somebody? The Anti-Defamation League?
No. George Foreman's daughter.
What?
George Foreman's daughter is suing Kanye West.
Why?
Because you didn't see that. Oh shit! I thought sure, but I'm sure you'd remember the story because you've seen it. But no, Kanye West was saying that George Foreman died of the drug overdose.
Oh wow!
Or not George? Is it George Foreman? The George?
I just thought it was. Yeah, the most of the shit I saw was just him fucking shit talking Jews for the
George Floyd. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, George Floyd. Okay, it's like what the fuck?
I didn't realize I was saying George Foreman. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Not enough sleep, obviously.
Yes. Yes, I did hear that. I should have made that connection.
Yeah, George Floyd is his family is suing Kanye West for $250 million, which is fucking ridiculous. Because number one, you have to be able to prove that Kanye West made money off of that. He has to be profiting off of that. And number two, you have to prove financial damage from that. And there's no financial damage that you get proof from just saying a fact. Like it's obviously it's factual. There's fucking
7 different drugs in the system or some crazy shit.
And it's like you can't actually die from what the cop was doing. whether you agree that it's right or wrong, it's not a lethal thing. You can't kill somebody doing that. George Floyd died because he was panicking, freaking out, and had like 6 times the lethal dose of fucking several different drugs in his system, which makes it even more deadly because the lethal dose of one medication or one like drug is bad, but then you throw in like other drugs and there's all sorts of weird interactions on top of the lethal dose. So it's like, I mean, he's lucky he was still alive and driving a car when he was. Like, if anything, them pulling him over and arresting him was the best thing that could have happened for anybody in that general area.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He kind of had a chance if he would have just calmed the fuck down.
Well, he would have had, yeah. Well, no, and he probably would have died either way. Like, that's the thing. Like, he was probably on his way to a heart attack some point, but he was also, wasn't he the driver?
Yeah, I believe he was.
So he was beyond fucked up. So he's driving way far away from sober, putting everybody's life at risk. And then what if he just died while he was behind the wheel, which would have been a real possibility? You know, it's like, oh, well, I mean, George Floyd could have killed somebody just by driving. So, in my opinion, that Derek guy probably saved some lives that day.
But nope, he's fucking in jail for forever.
Oh, did they convicted him?
Oh, yeah, Chauvin?
Did not realize they'd convicted him. That's such a fucking tragedy.
Oh, yeah, no, it was fucking crazy because they convicted him of 2 different murders, like 2nd and 3rd degree somehow.
He was convicted of 2 crimes for the same crime? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems like it should be one or the other, right? Like,
yeah, well, you know that there's a very real chance that information that comes out while they're suing Kanye, because Kanye's lawyers can afford a lot more stuff than Derek Chauvin's.
Right.
The evidence may pop up that completely exonerates him.
That would be fucking amazing.
So, like, it would be pretty cool if that's how it plays out. But what they're trying to do is essentially the thing they started with Alex Jones. Make it so people are afraid to say anything, even if it is true, just because, you know, they'll have to worry that, you know, some asshole is going to come after all their money and take all their money away from them.
Yeah.
Because they're exercising their right to free speech. And it's like Alex Jones's trial was a fucking...
It was a fucking farce, dude.
It was a fucking joke. Like, yeah. Yeah, they didn't even give him an opportunity to present a defense for himself. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't understand how that completely dropped.
Yeah, the summary judgment thing is only for, like, somebody committed a horrible crime and the victim is trying to sue get all those stuff they left behind when they fled the country. So they could at least have some sort of, like, you know, compensation for what they dealt with.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's essentially for that where, like, the perpetrator is gone and there's really no question of doubt. Like, there's, you know, video evidence or like, evidence is beyond compelling. Whereas Alex Jones was there, had presented them with everything they asked for, and the judge just arbitrarily said, no, you didn't, you're guilty. You don't get to say anything about innocence, you just have to pay them all money now. And there are people there that had nothing to do, that he never said anything about.
Yeah, like the FBI guy, just because they mentioned the FBI at some point, he's like, oh no, I'm suing him for that.
Yeah, like he just gets like $90-some-odd million, like just because Alex Jones said FBI at some point. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's utterly fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a farce. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's what happens in banana republics. It's not what should happen in the United States.
Yeah, and then allegedly...
You know, and whether you like Alex Jones or not, like, this is definitely dangerous, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what fucking... It really pisses me off, is all the people are like, no, he's a bad guy, so fuck him. I'm like, dude, what... Whether he's a bad guy or not, which is fucking bullshit.
It doesn't matter if he's a bad guy or not, because I don't want me to have to go through that, or anyone else to have to go through that. When they should.
That's what they don't seem to be able to grasp. Dude.
Yeah,
understand what this will lead to.
Yeah, it's
Not
you're on the chopping blocks next. It's the Democrats get the bullet next. That they used that Antifa sprays all over the fucking place. And these Democrats are in bed with these terrorist groups like Antifa and BLM, and it's like, you're next on the chopping block. Like, they're even saying it to you and writing it on the fucking buildings that they're burning in your name.
Yep.
Like, they're coming after you as soon as they're done with the conservatives. Like, do you not... like,
no, I'm one of the good ones. I'll be all right.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Oh, did you hear about that? I guess Rolling Stone is finally covering it, so now it's back in the news. There was a guy who was writing an expose on Biden who was raided in April by the FBI and hasn't been seen since. Like, none of his friends or family can contact him. None of his neighbors have heard from him. Nobody's seen him since he got raided in April. So Biden clearly, like, disappeared a guy who's a legitimate journalist. The funny thing is, I guess Rolling Stone said this may be the first journalist that Biden's administration has gone after. And everybody's like, James O'Keefe, you fucking retards. Yeah. And then you see all these people, James O'Keefe isn't a journalist. James O'Keefe is the most journalist in the fucking world right now, in my opinion. Like... Yeah. Yeah. Project Veritas is like the most real journalism. Oh God, for like the last couple of decades.
Yeah, he's just after the fucking the truth for the most part.
Yeah, and it's all just in other people's words. Like they're not writing editorials.
Yeah, it's activism. Everyone else is pretty much doing crazy ass fucking activism.
Yeah, all they're doing is saying, we think something weird is going on at Google, and then they go and have undercover journalists talk to people from Google and be like, hey, what's going on? And then the people who actually work at Google say what's going on, and then they just put that out so everybody can see it. Like, that's the purest form of journalism on the fucking planet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and it's like, how can you, whether you like what he comes up with or not, like, how do you say, like, that's not allowed or that's illegal? Like, that's such an important, basic, like, part of what journalism is.
Yeah, or at least what it used to be. Yeah, it's definitely some fucked up. Oh, the table.
Well, it's such a dangerous point of view to have.
Yeah. The amount of people that seem to be okay with it is fucking what's really terrifying.
I think there's a combination of things going on. I don't think the vast majority of people are actually okay with it. I think the vast majority of what you see online is just robots. It's all fake people. I don't think there's very many real people on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know how I forget that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm aware of the fact and I forget it.
Yeah, exactly. It is super easy to forget, though, to be fair.
Is either fucking bullshit or straight up bots.
Yeah, the vast majority of it is all bots. It's kind of disturbing when you think about it. It's like there's no overwhelming support for the vast majority of these things. Like, I don't think... I'm sure there are people who are misinformed that are legitimately, like, real people who just don't understand, like, what do you call it? I can't think of... my brain...
Useful idiots?
Who just don't understand the what's really going on. They're just too stupid to understand, like, oh, hey, maybe this is an issue... Or they're unwilling to look at, like, reality or consider consequences. And I'm sure there's a minority of people that are like that. Like, that doesn't... No question in my mind that you're going to find some stupid people out there who genuinely believe it. But I believe they're few and far between. There may be a few people on top of that who are also just misinformed and don't understand the truth, like have never been told the truth, because, you know, these news companies are always lying. But I think the vast majority of people have a pretty good idea of what's going on and don't agree with it. You know, I have yet to meet a single person in real life who agrees with any of the left propaganda. And I'm living in California. So, like...
Northern California. Especially
I'm an hour outside of San Francisco. It don't get more fucking California.
Yeah, it's about as liberal as you get, dude.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of people with really dumb liberal beliefs, but very few of them support any of what's going on. Like...
Yeah, and I think Biden's, like, alienated just about fucking everybody, dude. You know what I mean? Like, his presidency has been so fucked up.
Yeah.
Such a fucking train wreck, dude, that he's alienated even the fucking lefties, dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did.
Yeah, you see fucking black people are like, I'm not voting for Biden. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, there's a lot of people who are dead set against Biden at this point. As should be the case, in my personal opinion. like I think that's a pretty reasonable thing to be against, personally, because it's just so much dumb shit going on.
Yeah, at this point, just fucking nuts, dude. Oh shit, I'm in the... Sorry, I'm playing a little Far Cry.
Oh,
I'm at the point where I don't want to finish the game, so I'm doing all the little, you know, I always have those little tiny side missions in games. So I'm doing all that kind of shit. Like, one of them is, like, you got to go tear down all the propaganda posters and shit like that. There's like 150 of them.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, or this one, there's like this serial killer guy that's leaving these masks of whatever god he thinks he's following. So there's like 55 of those, I think. Yeah, like, you gotta go through, you gotta pick up
propaganda and all things, even video games.
Yeah.
There's a thing up for vote in California this year where they're talking about, at least in my town, they're talking about having like district and representatives by districts and stuff for the state and the city legislature kind of thing. So you would only be able to vote for your own district's representative, which is exactly like the Electoral College or Congress or any of that other shit. And so I pointed that out because my mom was super, like, advocating for it. And she was like, well, I mean, no, it's not the same. Yeah, that's the same fucking thing. So you mean individual areas get their own, like, representation? Oh, that's kind of cool, like this. And she's like, no, it can't be. Fucking hilarious, just so dumb. I love hearing, like, the idiots were like, oh, the Electoral College is bad because, like, my team lost this one year or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's one way of looking at it, dummy.
But yeah, that's the problem, dude. A lot of people just can't be swayed, dude, by facts, you know?
Yeah, no, they just can't handle reality, unfortunately. It's kind of sad.
Indeed.
And it's like, this guy was talking. I don't know if you've seen this dude who's on like TikTok and YouTube, something Butler, I think, James Butler, who runs like a septic company, and he's like the world's best fucking boss.
Oh, yeah, nothing for that one.
Oh, he's pretty fucking cool. Like, this is a guy who runs his company like you would want a company to be run. He's all about making a profit. He has absolutely no problem with there being competition. He's like, my company will succeed or fail based on my actions. I'm not going to worry about what other companies are doing. I'm going to make my company the best, like, without, trying to like shoot my competition in the foot. I'm just going to make a better product, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to fucking work smarter, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And as a result, it does. But also, he's like, you know, if my employees make a mistake, I make sure that they are comfortable bringing it to me. I may make fun of them if it's really stupid. Like, I like that one. He's like, I may make fun of them if they're really dumb, but like, I'm never gonna like fire them, dock their pay, or start screaming at them.
Right.
And he's like, oh, that's good. And then like he also provides housing, or he'll loan a car to any employees who need that when they're starting out. He's talking about one of his employees had like a bunch of debt before they started working for him that was like really bothering them, and it was impacting their ability to like pay for stuff that their kid needed, like braces or whatever, some shit like that. So he's like, so I paid it off for him, and he will pay it back to me over time in like reasonable payments without interest. And he says, because if he's worrying about that thing all the time, that he can't take care of his children and everything, then he's not paying attention to the job, and he's not going to do the best job he can do, and it's unsafe for everyone there. And I'd rather be out some money for a time and know that he's focused fully on the job and I don't have anything to worry about, than run the risk that a distracted employee ends up like hurting everybody on the crew or breaking something really expensive or something.
Yeah. It's fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fucking employers used to be like that.
Yeah, oh yeah, that used to be, you know, like when I worked at Sears Auto Center, my first job at 18 in 98. I worked my ass off, went in and said, hey, can I have a raise? And they're like, sure, here's 35 cents. You know, I was 18 years old, just out of high school, and only worked there 3 months. And at the time, minimum wage was like $7.25, and that was pretty reasonable.
Yeah, like 35 cents was a pretty significant raise.
Pretty significant, yeah, and working 40 hours a week at minimum wage was enough that you could afford to spend money on an apartment.
Yeah.
So it wasn't...
like 5 roommates. If you're all making a minimum wage. And there have to be like 6 of you to afford a 3-bedroom.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And it was, but even minimum wage, you could still like even if you were doing minimum wage, you could still afford like fucking like a studio apartment on your own, though. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, you might not have as much free money as you might if you rented out with like a couple other people and rented like a 2 or 3 bedroom place or something. But you wouldn't have to like fear like destitution. Yeah.
Nowadays, even with it being what is minimum wage now? Like, that's like $12.
Where I'm at, it's like $16.75, and it's still nowhere near enough for living expenses because like all this inflation and shit that's going on.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing, dude. Like, cause like my son, we'll go to like Burger King and he'll get something for him, and I'll just get like a burger or something. That's like 17 or 18 bucks. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like that's way too much. He's like, no, it's a good deal. So like, I guess right when he started buying, you know, having a job and buying shit, the inflation was already out of control. So he's like fucking thinking it's not bad.
Well, it's like, you know, like a gallon of milk was like $3 or $4, and then it suddenly was like $5 or $6 a gallon, you know, and then like eggs shoot up. And I think a lot of people don't realize that that's the insidiousness of inflation is your wage doesn't go down, just what you can afford to, what you can afford
what you can afford to
buy with it is substantially lowered because everything costs more money. So your money is no longer like worth as much. So you lose a lot of money even though you don't realize you're losing a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, or they do a lot of slick shit like fucking do smaller portions so it's the same price. Like
Yeah, that's a
what
big
used to
one.
be
Yeah.
what used to be a 10-pound bag of ice is now the same price that it was like a year ago, but it's a 7-pound bag of ice.
Yep, exactly. That's one of the ones that's really fucking gross.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's so many issues right now with everything that's going on these days.
Yeah, Biden's presidency is a fucking unmitigated disaster. And he
Oh
gets it
God.
fucking fat, dude.
Well, and they're trying
You
to
know what I
claim
mean?
that he upped that he made American oil more like productive. Like there's more oil that's been produced under Biden than any other president, and it's like no, he shut all of the oil production down. Like there's
Yeah, that's the reason it went up fucking to, 5, 6, whatever the fuck it is right now.
And then this is a real
Like, where
problem.
I'm at, it's I think it's like $4.39 right now.
For you, it's like $6 a gallon here, like over $6 a gallon.
California would be outrageous, but yeah, dude, he shut that shit down, and again, all the shit he's doing with the strategic oil reserves, from what I understand, that is not what it's meant to be.
No, it's for the military if we go to war.
Yeah.
Which we're on the precipice of World War III. Seems like a really bad time to throw 10 million, a huge amount of what we have left of our oil reserves just into like trying to win the midterms for your fucking your buddies that are in Congress.
Yeah, dude, did you hear about him trying to fucking
go over and get the Saudis to just hold off for like 1 month so that they wouldn't have to lose the elections?
Which, from what I understand, is an impeachable offense.
It should be, yeah. Well, and you know what? There's a fair to middling chance this piece of shit gets impeached.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Like, because he's not gonna. They're not gonna be a Democrat. It's very unlikely to be a Democratic majority in either the House or the Senate after this election. Like, that's really unlikely. Unless they've completely rigged it beyond any possible like thing at this point. If there may just not be any chance of a fair election anymore. Like that just may not actually be a thing. So although, I don't know.
I'm hoping that the people that were okay doing that shit are not anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh, there's always going to be extremists. I mean, look at all the terrorists that have been destroying all of our cities for the last few years. You know?
Yeah.
You know, we have these Black Lives Matter terrorists and the Antifa terrorists and various other forms of terrorism going on.
Yeah, it's just true. But I'm hoping that, at least there's enough fucking whistleblowers to realize, like, oh, okay, yeah.
I would hope that at least one or two people have their eyes opened. I think a lot of the states have passed laws to prevent this in the future, like Florida definitely. I don't think Florida went for the Democrat last election, but like they've definitely made a point to like safeguard against that sort of thing happening in Florida.
Yeah.
Like you actually have to.
The early voting is going very strongly against the Democrats in Florida.
Oh, that's not at all surprising. Yeah. Florida is definitely going hard Republican. Like, they used to be a purple state, but I don't think they're going to be a purple state anymore. I think it's just going to be straight red now at this point. Like, I can't imagine why anybody there would want to vote anything but Republican.
Yeah. Well, shit, even in New York, they were saying, like, I can't remember if it was the governor or the mayor, but the race is like the Republicans, like, with it's only like 6-point lead in the polls and shit. Which for super liberal New York, like, almost fucking counts as a loss. You know what I mean? Like, that's an insanely close fucking race for that for anywhere in New York City and the state overall. But yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. Yeah, people are fucking really fed up with the bullshit, man.
Yeah. I mean, they should be, though, if you think about it.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, they should. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure most people are aware of how fucking horrific this presidency is. Or if not, they know it's bad. At least, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if everybody's grasping how badly he's fucked shit up, but they know it's bad. At least.
Dude,
at a minimum.
It's almost $7 a gallon at some of the more expensive gas stations. You know, like some gas stations are cheaper than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the more expensive gas stations, it's like $7 a gallon at this point. Like, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of shit he's fucked up. I mean, there's been so much that, like, I think people have altogether forgotten about how badly he fucked up Afghanistan. You know what I mean? Like, that was, like, one of the first fucking real blunders of his. But, yeah, you don't talk about that anymore.
When he just deserted every one of our allies.
Yeah, and just left, $80 billion worth of military equipment for fucking Taliban to scoop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. And again, that's been fucking overshadowed by the more recent fuck-up.
Yeah. Yep. Well, also that whole just giving away billions of dollars to fucking college students. It's like, why are we paying for the most wealthy people among us to go to school? Because, like, these are the people that are going to make supposedly, like, $500,000 more over the course of their life than any other citizen. But now my shitty minimum wage taxes are going to pay for their free fucking school?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? I need that money to pay for food.
Yeah. It's fucking obvious pandering to fucking try to fucking buy votes, dude.
Yeah, well, and to encourage, like, the wealthy to donate more money because you'll get it back. Like, we'll steal money from, like, the poor people's taxes because we know that the wealthy people pay very little in the way of taxes. And, and we're just going to give that back to the wealthy people's kids and the future wealthy people. You know, we'll just take more away from the poor people.
Yeah, I feel like there should definitely be, like, having to show a financial hardship, dude, before you're given any kind
No,
of
I don't. I think that if you chose to go to school and you ended up taking something that was dumb and couldn't make any money, that's your own fucking fault.
Yeah.
But you had an opportunity that very few other people do. Oh, yeah. If you were going to do it anyway, at least you should have to prove that they needed that money, that there wasn't like... Oh, well, they could have just paid that loan off if they just went out and got, like, a real job for, like, a couple of years, you know, like...
Yeah, no, it's like Stick says. He's like, no, I signed those fucking things. You know, I signed those agreements. I may have been just a dumbass 18-year-old kid, but I fucking signed those fucking loans, so I don't want to be fucking let out of them. Yeah, I think he said he's pretty much paid his off by now, but, you know, even if not... He's like, no, I don't want anybody fucking paying it off for me.
Well, Styx is a reasonable, honorable person.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's a rarity, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, or at least anybody that's still allowed to have a channel.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, he still doesn't run ads on this shit, dude. It's fucking nuts. Although obviously,
well, he's smart. He never ran money on it, and doesn't he have like people can donate money to him if they want? Yeah, and he sells books that he writes.
Yeah, he definitely does a lot of what the fuck you call it?
Side hustle.
Rewriting old books and releasing them, basically.
Yeah, he translates, I guess, into more modern language old books. So it's sort of like rewriting. Yeah. I think it's a little more involved than that, though.
Right.
And it may be like a weird, bizarre little sub niche, but it's obviously got value because he was making enough money to live off of and own a home prior to his YouTube fame. Maybe it wasn't the nicest house, but, you know, fucking whatever, right?
Yeah, you can afford it.
Yep. It's like if I managed to make a big chunk of money all of a sudden, I'd immediately get out of California because I guarantee what I could afford here would be a hovel compared to anywhere else.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking ridiculous, dude. The fucking cost of land in California is, Jesus, it's insane.
The cost of land here is such that like my mom's repairing our house and building like a solar system and all that shit. Is such that it's not inconceivable that when she passes away and that becomes like my brother, my sister, and my own's property, that we couldn't potentially sell the house, move to another much less expensive state, and
Yeah.
live off of that for like the next 20 years fairly easily.
Shit, you could probably almost afford to buy a separate house for each one of you.
Yeah, we
then,
probably could actually end up buying
cost.
like 3 separate homes in some of the areas around the place, and still have money left over probably.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at like where we are now. I wouldn't be surprised if our property is worth close to $500,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know like my grandma's house in Palo Alto went for like $1 million plus when they sold the property and the home. And the person wasn't even buying it for the house. He was just buying it for the property because like they're going to tear the house down and build a new house there. So like,
yeah, that's where Stanford is, right?
there's plenty of places where you can buy a new multi-bedroom, like 3-4 bedroom home for $30,000, $40,000. That would easily be like 3 fucking homes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, or if you want to live in Detroit, dude, super cheap.
No, I would never go there. But I mean, you could go to somewhere like Montana or like Kansas and probably buy really nice property, kind of out, maybe a little ways away from the beaten path. For $30,000, you could buy like a 3-4 bedroom house and then just live there.
Yeah. Montana would probably be nice, dude. I don't know about Kansas.
Well, I'm not saying that they would be the nicest, like as far as like like California, like the national parks, the beaches, the forests. It's like absolutely fucking amazing. It's some of the most beautiful scenery you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah.
But you could live in a decent place to live in any of these other states for like a tenth of the fucking money.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how different the costs are.
Yeah. Montana would be a great place.
I mean,
Wyoming,
yeah. Well, look at Arizona. Like your cost for a gallon of gas is $2 less for each gallon of gasoline. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I haven't looked at real estate in my town. It's actually a pretty decent location. It's like a fucking 30 miles from Phoenix, like 70 miles from fucking Tucson.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But it's still a pretty small town. So yeah, and so it's pretty fucking cheap here too, I would imagine. Yeah, I mean it was a while ago, but yeah, I remember I bought my house back in god damn it, when was that? Probably 03 or somewhere in that area. No, 05. I had a house built, like bedroom, bath house.
Yeah.
For like $15,000. Obviously it'd be more than that now, but
yeah,
back then, dude, that was pretty goddamn cheap.
Yep. It's pretty. Yeah. I think I wouldn't want to live in Arizona just because like I'm not a fan of heat. Like I really can't handle like hot weather.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. Although this time of year is not too bad.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of times a year, but like I'd rather live somewhere where I'm not having to spend a fuck ton of money on like AC. I think Florida would be similar. Like I think I would not be able to survive Florida because of the humidity and the heat.
Yeah, that is kind of nuts, dude. It definitely makes a difference, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, seriously, up to about 105, with the dry heat is really not that bad. Like it's not great, but
yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the Discord now. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've ever watched those, like, road rage videos, but holy shit, they're always, like, both people at fault. Like, these fucking psychos
Yeah,
will submit videos, and they're like, look what this guy did. And they're like, well, look what you did, stupid. You started that shit. Like, or you then exacerbated it far beyond like, whatever was reasonable, you know?
Yeah, it's always interesting when you get fucking multiple, like both sides are somehow wrong. It's fucking amazing.
What I see a lot of the time is a really large percentage of them are like one person is driving in one lane and the other person's in the next lane over, and then person A signals to change lanes. And there's not a ton of room, but there's room, and it's, you know, like normally person B would be like, oh, okay, and just slow down a little bit and let them in. But no, person B decides they need to speed up and try to keep them from being able to merge for some fucking retarded reason. Like it's gonna, you're not gonna change your fucking time you're getting to your destination by anything more than like 5 seconds. Like grow the fuck up.
Yeah. The only time
should they have done it? No. But should it be a big deal? No.
Yeah, I don't know. The only time they do shit like that is when it's obvious that it's going down to like one less lane, and you're trying to like everyone.
Oh, if you're trying to cut the line, I understand people being frustrated with it, but I'm still of the opinion that like these are 2-ton death machines we're driving. Even if somebody's an asshole, sometimes you just need to be the bigger person because I don't want to fucking die because somebody didn't like getting cut in front of in a fucking line.
Yeah, no, when I do it, it's way ahead of time. Like, I'll see them coming from pretty far back, and I'll, like, fucking literally get half in one lane and half in the other. Fuck you, asshole. But, yeah, it's not something where I veer in front of them at the last second and cause an accident.
Oh, yeah, and then they both proceed to drive like maniacs trying to, like, get in front of each other and play silly dominance games on the fucking road. And it's
no, I back off if you know.
one of the ones this guy literally said, "Pardon me getting out and spraying the fire extinguisher at him, but he just made me so angry I didn't have a choice." And it's like, what do you fucking mean you didn't have a choice? You sprayed the car with a fire extinguisher, you fucking lunatic. Like, that's
horrible
not.
And also hilarious, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's super funny. It's super funny, but at the same time, it's kind of like. What do you mean you didn't have a choice, you fucking crazy fucker? Like, that's not... Once you've gotten out of your car to go yell at somebody over, like, fucking passing lane or something, I feel like you've lost all credibility at that point. Because, like, yeah, should they have done it? No. Are you really going to accomplish anything by getting out of your car like a crazy person yelling at somebody who might not be the most stable individual? And might have a gun to shoot you with when you do that? Like, maybe that's not the best plan. I don't understand why a lot of them stay there and, like, argue with the person. Because, like, me, the second you're out of your car, I'm gone. Peace out. I'm fucking dust in the rearview mirror. I ain't gonna get out and...
If it's anything beyond the first initial, like, hey, fuck you, I'm pretty much out, dude.
Oh, yeah, if you want to, like, flip somebody off from your car and yell out your window, you're a fucking asshole, blah, 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 go for it, don't care. It's when you're actually stopping and getting out of the car and, like, getting ready to go fight each other that it's like, alright, nah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, the other day I was going to leave the Fry's parking lot down the main exit lane or whatever, and this fucking bitch in a like a rent-a-van, not a van, it was basically one of the big ass trucks, not a semi, but like the next step down or whatever, the big ass truck or whatever, and they were like coming out of the fuel center close to the exit, and I was driving along, and like at the last second the bitch just starts pulling out into the fucking thing, dude, and like I have to slam on my fucking brakes. And then, like, they were, like, looking at me, like, giving me an attitude. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I understand being mad. Like, totally understand being enraged about these kind of things because people are putting your life and your safety at risk.
Yeah. Yeah. But on this one, I didn't fucking, want to get out and fight her or something. I literally just, again, passed her up, and flipped her off.
Yep, fair, totally fine. As long as whatever you're doing is not like insanely dangerous, is my opinion when it comes down to it.
Yeah. No, I basically sped up so she couldn't get over into the that she wanted to get to. Flipped her off as I passed her by and called it a day.
Yeah. See, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna be zen about it. But I used to be like insane. Like I've passed on the shoulder of the road, so it's not like my hands are clean. You know, like I was a fucking lunatic for a long time.
Yeah, no, I remember you telling me that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and so like if anybody would know, it would be me because I've fucking done it all. Well, I never got out of my car and went after anybody. That's just, like I'm not gonna stop and do that stuff. I remember, what was it? Some friends and I we went out and watched like the sunset at the coast, and then we had like a fire for a little while and had like a few beers. Except for the driver was one of those like I don't ever drink kind of people, so we were like, great, come hang out with us. Yeah, like we're gonna have a couple drinks. You don't drink, you drive. Everybody's cool. We're totally fine with that. And so we were on our way back, and we'd all stopped at like a 7-Eleven on the way back. And there were some people out there, and suddenly one of them just starts like jumping around and like waving his arms and getting really mad for some reason. Like none of us understood why. But he came over and started pounding on the window. And we were like, oh, okay. And then my friend freaked out. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, well, we're all in the car and you have the keys. Just fucking drive away. I don't know why we're here still.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What do you mean? What do you do? Like, we're not getting out to have fucking like one-on-one combat with him and his friends. Like, just fucking drive away. You know, and then these other people started trying to come at the car. Like, they were all going to fucking just start pounding on the car. So my friend just drove through them and away. I'm sure a couple of them got knocked over and you know, tumbled around, but we didn't like drive over anybody. That much I know. Yeah. Because they were in a mob chasing after him after that. And it was just like, I don't understand why.
Yeah, you're not obligated to stick around.
Yeah.
Fuck up your car or fuck you up.
Yeah, or exactly, and get beat up or have your car broken or something like that. It's like, and he didn't have, you know, like he was careful not to run over anybody. Like he could have gone a lot faster and definitely run some people under the car, and I would have said perfectly justifiably in my opinion. But you know, like they're trying to attack us with no reason to. Like we gave them no. We didn't do anything to like justify them being angry at us. So like it was real weird.
Figure like, out what the fuck the problem was?
No, because like we got out of the car. They were there when we got there. Got out of the car, went in. We bought ourselves some like fucking soda and chips and bullshit like that. Got back in the car and we were gonna go ahead to like one of our. I forget. We were gonna go to like somebody's house and just hang out and bullshit for a while longer. Maybe watch a movie. And then these guys just started getting really angry and fucking swearing and I don't know, dude. They were really angry. We have no idea why. I don't feel any regret. Like, because if there was something we'd done, like if we went over and we were like, aha, you're a bunch of fucking fairies, you know, fuck you or whatever. Yeah. That would have, you know, potentially made some people angry. All right, yeah, I get it. This dude's upset. That's a pretty reasonable thing to be mad about. We were rude and insulting for no reason.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah.
Probably just mistaking you for somebody else or something. Fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The whole thing was nutty. But we just left, and it was the smart thing to do. And that's, like, I've only ever seen that once in these, after watching several of those videos. And I'm not watching any more of them because I'm just like, I mean, this is just kind of dumb. It's the same shit over and over. A bunch of overgrown children trying to kill each other on the road. You know, like, I'll pass. But the only one I ever saw was a guy who was apparently driving his kid to some martial arts class. And they just go through an intersection. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this truck comes up and like flies in front of them and like pulls to the road and stops. And the guy gets out and he's like coming back to the car, all angry looking. And you hear the kid be like, "Dad, what the fuck? What's wrong with this guy's problem?" And his dad's like, "I don't know." And I'm like waiting to find out. And then he just drove the fuck off. And I'm like, that's the only one I've heard so far who ain't, you know, retarded. Like.
Right.
He's like, fuck this, I'm out. That guy's out of his mind. I don't fucking want to fight this dude. Like, and it was real weird because like they like legitimately they really didn't do anything. Like they just drove through an intersection that this dude was waiting at a light in, and somehow this made him angry.
Right.
I have seen a lot of those videos too, where like it's just like somebody's driving and then somebody else is just really angry at them, and you're like, what? Why?
What's your fucking problem?
Yeah. Like, I understand the ones where somebody gets cut off. Like, nobody wants to get cut off, and it makes everybody really angry. And it's dangerous, and you shouldn't be like, oh, why is that illegal? That should be fine. It's more like, like, it's the stuff afterwards where people, like, get mad and jockey for position and shit, where it's like, you're kind of putting everybody in danger now. Like, you've lost whatever high ground you had. But also, a lot of the times, from what I've seen, there's plenty of time for the person who's the car in the lane that's being merged into to just slow down.
Right.
Like, all they need to do is just tap their brake pedal for half a second, let this guy in, and then be fine. Like, yeah, it's rude, but whatever, you know?
Yeah. It's not worth getting that angry.
Yeah. Well, and it's certainly not worth, like, driving like a lunatic and trying to keep them from being able to merge onto the highway or whatever. Because, like, 99% of the time, it's somebody getting on the freeway. And it's like, like, sometimes those on-ramps are kind of short and you have a trouble getting up to speed. Like, be a little more understanding. Because I know there's a section of road through Petaluma, on Highway 101, where, like, the on-ramps were designed before the roads were 65, when they were still only, like, 55 miles an hour was the max speed anywhere in California. And so,
so they're not, like, banked or whatever, like they are.
Well, they're like maybe 50% as long as any of the other on-ramps in any of the other nearby towns.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
They're half the length, man. They're super fucking short. You got to have a pretty high performance car to get up to 65 on those things. You do 55, yeah, you can barely do it in most cars, but 65 just ain't gonna happen in a lot of cars.
Yeah.
So when you're driving through that city, you know,
not that many people are only going, usually at least 70.
Yeah. Well, but when you're driving through that city, you got to slow down and let people merge onto the freeway so that they can get on. You know, and everybody's trying to get to San Francisco to go to work because it's like, the biggest city that everybody kind of commutes to nearby.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just have to be respectful and be alert. Be alert what's going on and, let people in. But nah, everybody it's like everybody seems to think that, like, by letting that guy in, you're gonna be like an hour late to work, the way that they're acting. And reality is, like, letting that guy in maybe made the difference of like 1 second, if it even made that much difference.
Yeah.
In your drive time.
Be the difference between you being late and being on time.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna be late because this guy cut you off. You're just gonna be slightly inconvenienced and annoyed.
Yeah. People suck. The bottom line.
Pretty much.
That's the point of what we're saying.
Well, and the fucking the company I work for, like, didn't pay me my vacation time on my last paycheck on the 7th, and it took them until yesterday to get a check ready, and then they didn't even bother to call me and let me know that the check was ready, so I didn't have time to go pick it up yesterday. And then, my mom's out of town today, so obviously I couldn't. But it's like, yeah, because my brother's at work and my mom's out of town. I had no vehicle to get down there. Unless I wanted to, like, I don't know, hire a fucking Uber or a taxi or something like that, which would just be dumb and kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, that's definitely part of why I probably didn't come up with the the name because I've been stressing out over that because it's like yeah, maybe I pay rent to my mom, but I still have to fucking pay it.
Right.
Like I can't just not pay her. That's not how that works.
Yeah, that is pretty messed up. Oh, that's my tiger.
Ooh, you got a tiger, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, it's in the Far Cry games. Apparently, there's always like a trippy, like fucking psychedelic mission.
Oh yeah.
A set of missions. So yeah, I'm in that one where you're basically like it's like you're fucking high on shrooms and going through all this crazy shit. Reaching Shangri-La is what they call it.
Ha.
God damn it! I almost fucked myself up. God damn it! No, heal. The healing thing is really funny, dude. I don't know if you've ever played any of the Far Cry games, but like the healing thing is like, it'll be like you like using a twig to fucking pry a bullet out of your fucking hand or you're like snapping your finger back into place like it was out of place or something. It's like, or one of them's just you around it, kind of makes sense, like around your arm.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Some of the fucking animations for you healing yourself are fucking ridiculous.
You're like, I don't think that would do anything other than be like real fucking dangerous. Oh man.
Indeed. Fun game though. But yeah, my son was telling me it's pretty much all of these. Oh shit. Damn it, I thought it was done.
Nah, there's no done for you.
All these games have like weird trippy levels like that.
Oh, is that like that manufacturer, the game developer, whatever, always does that or something?
Yeah, and all the Far Cry games are levels here. High on shrooms or something.
Fair. That sounds kind of cool. I mean, it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. It's trippy. It's pretty trippy.
Oh man. Is it trippy poop? Is there somebody trying to fuck Bigfoot? What do we want to talk about other than Bigfoot's penis for the next 4 hours?
Yeah. Oh, this guy had his frozen dick and Bigfoot's frozen dick. Let's talk about that forever.
Yeah, it's like that's a funny joke for like 10 minutes, and then we need to stop and do something else, man. Come on.
Yeah, that was fucking obnoxious. That's funny because I would always, anytime he's mentioned like in other chats and shit, I'll like be like, really? He was on? Did he talk like 90% of the time, even though there's 5 other people on? And he'll be in the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, dude. Like, yeah, you fucking suck, dude. I understand you're paying these people so they're fucking indulging your bullshit, but you fucking suck.
Oh man, do you see the hunter becomes the hunted video?
Becomes the hunted?
Like people, you know, there's always those people talking about like, well, you don't need this and that gun, and why would you need more than 10 bullets and blah 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 blah. And it's like a recent, fairly viral video, where fuck, my brain froze for a second. Hold on. A hunter is walking around in a field and ends up having to like shoot a mountain lion several times because the mountain lion's ready to fucking take him down.
Right.
And he unloads like a pistol on this mountain lion, and it's barely enough to get the mountain lion to just walk away.
Yeah, mountain lions, it turns out, pretty fucking tough.
Yeah. Like the mountain lion doesn't seem particularly fazed by the whole being shot all the times, but it's enough to get it to stop trying to eat the guy.
It's like, hey, that's mildly irritating. I guess I'll.
Yeah. It's like. And that was like, you know, like a standard pistol usually has something like 10 to 12 rounds, I believe, for like a regular pistol with a clip in it. Seems to be the case on all the YouTube videos I've seen where people are firing off pistols for whatever reason.
Yeah, a minimum of 8, I would think, but yeah, up to 12, maybe 15.
Yeah, like extended clips, they would have like 15 But a lot of places don't allow that. Because, my God, more bullets in the hands of those who might defend themselves legally. Can't have that. Like, but they could have a, you know, what was it? They had a fucking shootout in fucking Chicago. And they just wrote it all off as mutual combat. Like, 2 people died, several people went to the hospital. It's like 70 rounds were exchanged, and they didn't arrest a single person or press charges. Or even try to.
Wow. The minorities?
Yeah, definitely.
Probably why there was.
Well, and also Chicago's in Illinois, where like come 2023, like none of that shit will even be illegal.
Yeah, this is true. As long as you're a minority and attacking a white person, there's no crime to be found.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a crime if you're. Yeah. It's not wrong if they're white. That's fine. But I think people should be paying attention because you might want to have your own fucking, fucking, what do you call it? Way of defending yourself real fucking soon in that area because the people are going to be coming for your shit. The minute they make it not illegal to, you know, just rob whoever you want, like, you lose, like, a lot of people just gonna start going into people's houses and taking shit with guns and bats and all sorts of weapons.
What the fuck? Ah. I'm gonna take a break. This is too distracting. And I gotta smoke anyway. But yeah, dude, I was, damn it, I don't have the specifics on this. There was like this dude, I think it was in Texas, but it was in Austin, so not really Texas. But anyways, the dude beat the shit out of his girlfriend and his pregnant girlfriend.
Oh, so dude, that's even worse.
Miscarried. Yeah.
Oh, and that should
so
be
bad that she miscarried.
Yeah, that
right?
should be considered murder.
Yeah. And all he got was basically like, I think like a few years of probation, and like for 6 months he had to wear like an ankle bracelet.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking insane, right?
Yeah, that's like, why are you not in prison for like 5 to 10 years at the very minimum? Like, it's not murder in the first degree, but like, you still killed somebody.
Yeah, for sure. But again, it was Travis County, I believe.
Is that the same county that Austin is in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's the California rot that gets into those fucking places, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like this weird little liberal fucking stronghold in the middle.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what do we need? Less punishment so more crimes will be committed. Great plan. It's like, I'll tell you right now, like, you know what makes the difference between crime and not crime is punishment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to have punishment, or people will just go do horrible things like beat their fucking girlfriend so bad she loses the baby.
Yeah, she fucking miscarried.
But I guess they fucking hate babies more than I do. They want to kill them, you know.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe that's why he got off. They're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just count this as you were performing an abortion.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, doctor. We didn't mean to interfere with your abortion practice.
Right. Yeah, we're going to charge you with performing a license.
So fucking gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing that anyone can do because the elections are rigged, or there's too many stupid people to keep voting for it.
Yeah, have you seen the any of that trial? I think it's the guy that ran his like SUV into a crowd.
Oh yeah. Oh no! I thought you were talking about for a second. I thought you were talking about the lady that ran over like the random stranger because she was mad at her fucking boyfriend for cheating on her or some shit.
Oh yeah, no, the one that video that I posted.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but no, this guy is like choosing to represent himself. Have you seen any of that?
No, I haven't. That sounds
Yeah.
really fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because from what I saw, and I haven't watched a huge amount of it, but he was like making a big deal about he's talking to the officer that put in the report, and he's like, all right, and so you have no way of knowing if it's like that report was changed or not. Like he's getting like bogged down in the stupid minutia of the fucking reports, and that guy's just like, no, I just fucking submitted through this thing, and yeah, only I can change it. So like you know what I mean? Like he was trying to go kind of, oh no, that report was altered. Which again, I don't know why it fucking matters. You took a vehicle and you fucking ran people over with it and killed them.
Oh, he's not a rational actor, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously, somebody that's capable of that is not going to be of sound mind.
Well, I wonder if that's what he's aiming for. Like he's gonna do all this bullshit and play all these games, and then be like, obviously, I'm not mentally competent to stand trial.
Yeah, obviously, I'm fucking insane.
You guys can't punish me. You have to put me in an asylum because I'm a crazy person.
Indeed.
That is kind of gross, but you know, fucking, it's like the Twinkie defense.
All right.
Oh, I put up a fucking video. I know you didn't watch the video about the fucking what do you call it? VTubers.
The VTubers.
So there was like apparently some VTubers decided to post like a video of them or make a stream where they showed their feet in like stockings or something. And I thought it was fucking hilarious because like one was like a fruity guy and then the other one was like a chick. But like you could tell like from the cankles that was a big girl. Like where like, you know, there's no dip in the ankles, it's just straight from the feet straight into the calves. There's no ankle.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's a big girl.
That's
like, sure, she talks dirty all the time, but that's a big girl. She probably weighing in like 300 pounds, homie.
Oh, fuck. Why the fuck would you do that?
That was the part that I was baffled at.
They don't have to show their fucking...
I would imagine... well, they're not allowed to show their actual body, right? So, like... like, she had to wear, like, stockings. Like, and then he had to wear, like stockings. Like, they couldn't show their actual feet.
Like, they can't show skin?
Yeah, like, they can't even show their skin. It's, like, real weird. It's, like, a Japanese company that runs all these people, so... That's fucking weird Japanese shit. And I think it's partly because they replace people a lot. And a vast majority, like, they like to pretend that they all went to, what do you call it? Where you go, like, in a movie, you gotta do, what do you call it? Like a casting call?
Okay.
I forget what they call the thing you do at a casting call, though. Audition. Like, they all like to pretend that there's these big auditions where all these people can go and be VTubers whenever they want. But the reality is that it's just a small select group of people that just do different voices and different characters. And they just every couple of years switch up the characters so that it doesn't get stale. Because, you know, like, that shit would just get fucking boring.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. That whole thing is kind of funny, but I thought that was really funny that she just, like, showed her feet, and I was like, how is this whole audience not going, like, damn, that girl's big?
Right. Doesn't that ruin it for you? Well, yeah, probably be a select few that are like...
I mean, me personally, I wouldn't care. Like, that's not what I'm watching anything for anyway on YouTube, but, like, you would think that might be... Unless they're into that, like, that's their fetish. Like, they're into big girls, you know, like... That most of those guys would be like, I'm not into, like, paying a bunch of money for, like, a kind of ugly girl to talking dirty to me. I'm gonna pass. But I don't know. These kids are fucking desperate. They'll do whatever these girls tell them to do. Throw money at them all the time.
Yeah, throwing money at the VTuber was just always seemed fucking bizarre to me. Like you don't even know if she's hot. Like, isn't that part?
Yeah, and some of them are like, I guess some of them like are not working for the Japanese companies. There are a few independents or whatever, and so like
Right?
yeah, like some of those chicks are like super hot and they do OnlyFans stuff and whatever. But like a big portion of them are just kind of like like
Well, my
y'all
voice
don't know.
sounds nice. My voice sounds sexy.
Like Iron Mouse.
Train
Iron Mouse is
for
one of those
life.
ones that baffles me in that respect. She's well into her 30s and she has a kid and she's like a really gross, disgusting person just in general. And like you can hear the ridiculous amount of autotune in whenever she's doing like her opera singing like videos.
Oh, right.
Like it sounds good, but it sounds good because she's running everything through a computer and it's all being adjusted so that it's all perfect sounding.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It baffles me that anybody gives her money, but she's one of the most successful VTubers out there. She's never shown a single picture of any of the supposed medical equipment that she needs to survive. Despite having thousands of dollars donated, I cannot find a single picture of one fucking machine that she supposedly owns that's for her health.
Yeah. Well, she's still got dumbasses that seem to bother, acquiring.
Yeah. I wish there was a way you could file a lawsuit against somebody, even though, like, they haven't damaged you. Like, you could just be like, let's get some lawyers together and sue this bitch because she's obviously lying in order to generate more donations because people will feel like she needs, like, extra help because she's got these medical issues that she's lying about. Like, she's defrauding them.
Yeah.
Like, I wish there was a way to go after that. I don't think there is, unfortunately.
Yeah. Or at least not yet. You never know.
Yeah.
It's all kind of territory, I suppose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think it'd be nice if you could sue people for being frauds like that. Like, and I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I want to say like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know for sure. I sincerely doubt that any of what she says about her illness is true. Because it doesn't. Like you would think like if it were me, if I had like some sort of horrible fucking cancer. And I started streaming like, hey, donate. I kind of need, money for cancer treatment, blah, blah, blah. And, I'd really, it'd make a huge difference to me. And everybody was like, here, take my money. And just like threw fucking, hundreds of thousands of dollars at me.
Yeah.
I'd be posting lots of pictures of that fucking treatment for everybody, dude.
Yeah.
I'll be like, here's this hospital bed that I was able to afford thanks to you guys. It makes so much difference. Now I get more sleep. I'm able to like, it's going to help me be so much healthier throughout the treatment. And I'd be showing like all the pills and shit. Like even if I was like never going to show my face, there's a lot of stuff that I would show people so that they could see what their money was doing, just as a general like normal thing. So it baffles me that like she does none of that and everybody's like, no, she's totally sincere. I'm like, where's the machine she needs to make everything pure because she's got this horrible immune disease that she can't live with. Yet she still has people coming over to visit her. Right. And she had a kid and she's in her 30s. Like, what's this a mysterious immune disease that's so selective of when it's actually dangerous? Like...
Yeah, it just acts up sometimes whenever I need money.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Sweet Anita thing. I don't doubt that Sweet Anita has Tourette's. I just doubt that it's normally that fucking comedically well-timed. Like...
Yeah, it's hard
it seems to be awfully convenient a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah. It's a good point, dude. Yeah.
I could be wrong. It could totally be natural, though, too.
I also never watch, like, long segments of anything she does. Because, I see the
like the funny clips, the highlight clips, yeah.
Yeah, so there may be long stretches where, she's not doing all that much.
Oh, maybe there is. You know what? To be fair, I haven't really watched a whole stream of hers, so that could be entirely possible. And I could be wrong. Maybe it really is. It's totally legit. But the person that clued me in, that I heard that from originally is somebody who has Tourette's and streams and was like, boy, I wish my Tourette's worked like that. Like,
yeah, and plus it isn't the fucking same for you know what I mean?
It's not the same for everybody, but like you can tell he has it. Like he has twitches and noises occasionally. But they're never conveniently timed for humor. Like,
right.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if she plays the shit up, dude. And like half of it or even most of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure she actually has Tourette's. Like, I'm definitely not going to say that she's faking the whole thing. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as bad as, like, the multiple... dissociative, the DIDs, the dissociative identity disorder people.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, that stuff where their personalities are very conveniently timed.
Yeah.
For the sake of content.
Whatever they fucking want. Yeah. Like, oh, wow. Switches over that.
And they all know about each other, which is not how that works at all, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's so... And, dude, their fans, holy shit, their fans are insane. Their fans are fucking rabid, dude, if you even fucking insinuate that they're full of shit.
Oh, or if you're like, yeah, you realize that person is lying to you, right? Like they're making fun of you. I think it's because their fans donated a fuck ton of money and like put in a lot of effort to help build the channels and stuff like that. So they're super invested in that being real. And if you question that, you're questioning a fundamental part of their personality and their opinion from their point of view.
Yeah, they don't want to be realized as fucking saps.
Yeah, nobody wants to be wrong about that and have to be like, and I gave this person $5,000 over the last 2 years. You know, like what was I doing? So I understand why people would be rabid about that. Like, I totally get that, just because it's such a fucking awkward and unfortunate situation that they're in.
Yeah, fucking taken advantage of. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel bad for them. Like, you know, like it's easy to... You thought you were doing the right thing. You thought you were helping out this person that genuinely, like, really needed your assistance. It's like the number of people that are out there that are pretending to be homeless and put out signs to beg for money. Like, they're counting on those kind of people. You know, like, they want that unfortunate, like... The person who just isn't smart enough to understand they're being conned, but they want to be really nice and they want to help out this person. Like, they're out there to just capitalize on that. Like, you see those fucking videos where, like, they send a pizza to, or they go over and give, like, some homeless guy, like, you know, $50,000. A lot of those people are the ones that are begging. Those are usually fake. Those aren't really homeless people. They live in houses. They're perfectly, like, they have plenty of money.
Yeah, there's been cases like dudes going like at the end of the day they catch them getting into like fucking a Mercedes or something.
I've literally seen that. There was a very notorious homeless guy through like I would say from like 1998 at least, maybe a couple of years before then to like about 2008 2009. For almost a decade, this dude was at the same fucking place every single day. Yeah. And I was driving by one night, and I legitimately watched this dude get into a brand new fucking Beamer and drive off in his brand new Beamer. Like, he changed out of, like, some clothes, so his clothes were much cleaner. Mm-hmm. And he got into a Beamer and drove away. Didn't even like hesitate. Just was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's not like he even looked around and fucking...
No, he didn't even care. Just get in his fucking BMW and drive home. With probably a few $1,000s in cash from people. Because it's like a shopping center that's centrally located. It's near a lot of places where like low-level employees work. Like a lot of like factories and like fast food, other like fast food places and like grocery stores and shit. So a lot of people who need really cheap food fast for lunch. And there's a couple of major, it's like a Burger King and a Taco Bell right next to each other there. And across the street is like a Panda Express. So like there's a fuck ton of people going through that area. That dude was making money hand over fist. I guarantee he was taking home a couple grand every night.
Yeah. no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one, I saw one, like, pretending to play the violin, and there was a dude that actually played the violin that was, like, busting him for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's always
yeah.
nice when somebody busts these assholes and fucking makes them look a fool or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because, yeah, then he was, like, pretending he didn't speak English.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Fucking piece of shit.
That's a constant in California because there's so many like illegal aliens that are here from Mexico.
Right.
There's so many people who suddenly can't fucking speak English whenever there's a problem.
Yeah. Conveniently so. Yeah.
And everybody just buys into it and it's like, oh, well, they don't understand. No, they fucking understand. They're lying to you. Do you not? That's what you don't understand. Is they're using your sympathy and your like kindness and your want to help people as a way to fleece you out of your own money and take advantage of you. Oh man.
It'll suck. It's the bottom line.
Yep. And if you're ever looking at a homeless person, you're wondering for anybody who ever may listen, I don't think there's anybody watching. Yeah, it's just me. Look at their shoes. Like 9 times out of 10, the fakers will have really nice shoes.
Oh yeah, there was one.
And that's how you can tell. And you're like, oh yeah, that's brand new pair of fucking Nikes. Yeah, that guy's clearly a fucking.
Forgot what the fuck the thing was, dude. But basically, there was some kind of shoes that were expensive, and it was like this whole entire family that was pretending to be on hard times or whatever. And like one of the kids had like these $500 pair of fucking shoes on.
Yeah, that's usually what gets them. They'll wear really nice shoes, but they'll wear like what do you call it? They'll get like dirty pants and like a dirty shirt and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it looks dirty, but it's not.
Yeah,
like,
it's
fake.
really fucking gross. But what are you going to do? You can't, it's apparently it's not illegal. Yeah. So even though it's really blatant fraud in my opinion, but
like you're fraudulent on some level, but apparently not.
You would think that would be considered some sort of fraud.
Yeah, some type of crime. This guy. Sorry, I'm still playing through the trippy levels here.
I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Oh, I saw like a long form interview with like Papa Johnny. He was on the Tim.
Timcast or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize like all that shit about it was totally fake.
Yeah. Oh, him and the N-word or whatever.
Yeah. He was just on a meeting saying like, all right, here's we basically being like, this is not an acceptable word for people to be using under any circumstances in any of our locations. So we need to make sure that we have like, sort of like, here's a list of things we're not allowed to say, kind of thing.
Yeah, dude. And he still got kicked out of the company, right?
Yeah. It was basically, the whole thing was basically just a way for them to eliminate him from the company and take over the company. Because they were spending a fuck ton of money every year making sure that most of their ingredients were all natural. He's like, I don't want weird chemicals in my fucking pizza dough. I want pure, like, just flour, water, and salt, and a little bit of olive oil in my pizza dough. Like, so sometimes, like, for safety reasons or food handling stuff, there's stuff you can't avoid. But they were spending probably, millions of dollars every year in excess of what they absolutely needed to spend in order to maintain, like, an extreme level of quality in the product. And they wanted to fucking sell that product in a much cheaper, fucking shittier version of it with a lot of weird chemicals and shit in there instead. And so now they can. And that's how they did it. They recorded a meeting where they were talking about, like, basically HR kind of shit. And he was like, you can't say nigger. And they were like, oh no, he said it. And then they all basically just fucking piled on and got him removed from his own company. But let that be a lesson to anybody who's interested in starting their own business from this point on. Do not, under any circumstances, go public. Maintain full ownership of your company, and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because, it doesn't even matter if you're like a liberal or a Republican. This isn't about politics. This is just about, like, if you're going to have a business, cover your ass so that you don't potentially lose that business to a bunch of fucking sneaky pieces of shit. Because everybody says something sooner or later that can be used against them if you take it out of context.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
So.
Yeah, or if you're going to say that, you just say the N-word in that case. People will know what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't use the real word.
Yeah, there's no...
Play the Voldemort game. He who shall not be named.
They who shall not be.
It's dumb and ridiculous and childish, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Fucking...
It's like, I understand if people are upset because somebody's calling somebody the N-word.
Yeah. But if you're just talking about it and you can't just say the fucking word.
Yeah. Like, what if you're just reading an old book? Where they, that's part of the language that was there at the time. So, like, if you read it like an old fucking... I actually had to do that in class one time. We were going through, like, Tom Sawyer when I was in high school.
Yeah, Huck Finn.
Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer, and it's like, you got to read those books, and then fucking... A lot of the time, the teacher will be like, well, we're going to read it together as a group. We're going to read through this chapter, taking turns.
Reading it out loud.
Yeah, and so you got to fucking... the teacher can't... Unless the teacher's really smart and has a seating chart, they can't really time it so that the people who are saying the N-word in that context are saying it appropriately.
Right.
That
would be funny if you're like, all right, I just want to see how comfortable some of you white boys are saying this word.
Yeah. So that wasn't like a thing, but like... Oh, man. It was just one of those things where you're like, wow, this is really fucking dumb.
But yeah, it is pretty amazing how, even if you're not calling anybody that, just talking about it, like, oh, you're canceled.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, and he was canceled because, like, the entire company of people he worked with all piled on to take away the company. So, like, there was really, like... He was really unfairly...
Yeah.
It was really unfair in that case, because the more you heard him talk, the more, like, he just seemed like a genuinely, like, decent guy who just had a really good idea at the right time and implemented it in the best possible way and got it, like, millions of dollars,
Yeah, I don't need Papa John's much anymore. Yeah, I remember it being pretty goddamn good back then.
Well, the people on the show, on Timcast, were like, you can taste the difference noticeably. Like, it used to be really fucking good, and it's not anymore. So...
it's still decent, but yeah, it's definitely not what it used to be.
Yeah, I remember it being one of the tastier pizzas you could get. Yeah, definitely. It was definitely way above, like, a Pizza Hut or a Domino's or a fucking Little Caesars any given day of the week.
Yeah.
The only downside was you had to bake it at home, but, like, for that level of pizza, that's not a big deal. Like, and in a lot of ways, it was cheaper in a lot of cases.
Yeah, they did a good fucking job.
Did they ever have a service where they would bake your pizza for you at Papa John's? 'Cause I know, like, it started as take and bake, but...
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I mean, they had delivery at some point, so I was wondering if maybe, like,
Oh, yeah, in fact, the one here in town was, like, the only one that would deliver as far out as we live. Out of all the,
but they would deliver a pizza that you had to then bake? It wasn't, like, baked for you?
I don't remember that. I think it's always just been cooked.
taken back. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I just never like I don't like I like pizza, but I'm not like, oh my god, I have to have pizza all the time. So like
trying to think of
for instance, right now there's about 3/4 of a pizza in my freezer because we had pizza and we got way too much, and so I just froze a bunch. Because I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking eat this. Like,
sheesh. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the national chains. Which ones? Like, I think Papa John's is still better than any of the other national chains, even if going downhill or whatever.
oh, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like the local one here. Like there's one that's pretty much Arizona White at least. It's called Peter Piper Pizza. I really like theirs. The sauce is like my favorite sauce of pretty much any pizza that I've gotten anywhere.
Damn.
And then there's a local place here in the town I live in that's just fucking just great. And they also have really good like wings, like sauce for wings and shit. But yeah, as far as anything, so I guess the Peter Piper one we consider regional, at least. I don't know where else it's at, but it's there. I know there was obviously here in my town. There's one up in Flagstaff. They're all throughout the valley, Phoenix area. Yeah, that one's really good. It's a place called Hungry Howie's. I don't know if they have Hungry Howie's where you're at. But the price was always similar, but it was definitely better. Yeah, in fact, I think one of the ones that started putting the flavor on the crust. I forget who copied them, but they were like one to do that.
Oh, was there like the first company that started putting like any sort of seasoning on the crust of a pizza? That's really smart. I like that. Like if there was like even just a little garlic salt would be like, oh, that's way better.
Yeah, they'd have a bunch of different flavors, ranch or fucking other ones I can't think of. But there'd be like 5 or 6 to choose from. Because they were doing that several years ago.
Yeah,
and I think Papa John's does that now. But yeah, there was nobody else doing that shit for a long time. Yeah, like I said, it was definitely better. Like I said, it was always comparably priced to Little Caesars, but definitely a better quality. Definitely tastes better. Because I get into it with my son all the time. Or I give him shit about it because he's like, I don't know. He just doesn't have a refined palate, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, Little Caesars is just as good as all these other places. Like, really? Little Caesars is good as long as you eat it within about 10 minutes of when you get it.
I've had Little Caesars a couple of times, and it was pretty fucking awful every time.
Yeah, if you eat it right away, dude, it's not bad. It's not great.
I've never had it at any point, whether it's be right away. But then again, like I said, I like pizza, but I'm not like a massive pizza guy. Like I think most people really love pizza. I'm like, pizza's all right. I'll have that sometimes, but like, I'd rather have a chicken fried steak or like a fucking a burger from somewhere than a pizza. Honestly, most of the time.
I actually just ate the sliders, Kroger brand sliders. They're like ones that you fucking. It's like a little 6-pack of them, right?
Oh, like frozen ones or just small ones?
Yeah, just a little sliders with the decent patty that's put on the little ones. So, and you just throw it in the microwave for like 4 or 5 minutes.
What brand is that?
Actually not bad.
You said the sliders. Is that that's not the White Castle ones, right? I'm assuming.
No, this is the Kroger brand. Like
those I can see those being really good. Yeah, I was gonna say because the fucking. I've had those White Castle ones that are frozen and they're pretty gnarly. They're not that good.
They're not good. No, if you eat at a White Castle restaurant, they're really fucking good. But yeah, if you eat
that's one probably where I would assume like the freshness is the big thing. Like having a fresh White Castle burger is probably way better than any other kind.
Yeah, because I remember eating at the White Castle when I was back in Detroit, like it was right after fucking 9/11. Whatever, October, November of 01. And yeah, like my friend had taken me to one of those, and I'm like, I've had the frozen ones. They're not like this. Those ones fucking suck. Yeah, especially with it's super thin, because it's a super thin fucking patty.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's a
no,
lot of
much
fucking
better.
bread in a White Castle slider if the frozen ones are to be any sort of like indicator.
Yeah, no, they're awful, dude. They're not good at all. But the Kroger brand one, like I said, it comes in a pan that you can use in the microwave or whatever. It's like a little 6-pack. And again, the patties are not super thin. Like there's a decent chunk of meat in each patty.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Throw them in the microwave for like 4 or 5 minutes, and you're fucking good to go. They're pretty tasty.
I'll take it.
Again, the frozen shit.
I don't know if they have them here. I know that like, because it's I assume Kroger's is like Safeway. I think.
No, Kroger's like where I'm at. Kroger owns the Fry's ones. In Southern California, at least, they own the Ralph's.
So like Ralph's, okay.
Okay, yeah. So I assume they own all. I assume they just bought out Ralph's altogether.
Yeah,
so,
I would assume.
Yeah, Kroger brand would be in Ralph's most likely.
Okay, so it'd be like Ralph's. Okay, we don't usually get stuff from Ralph's then. There's not a lot of Ralph's even around, as far as I know, in like Northern California where I'm at. I very rarely see one of those.
Yeah, I think there's a lot in Southern California, but yeah, maybe more.
Although I wonder if they have like a similar to Safeway where you can just pull in, call up the store and get like your food brought out to your car, because that's really fucking nice. Like getting the store to do your shopping like is really, really handy. Like,
yeah. No, that's what my son does, dude. He essentially picks orders for the online orders.
Oh yeah, I always appreciate people that can handle that and like do it right, because there's some times where you're like, what the fuck? Like, why would you substitute that other than just because your boss said stop not making the orders all the way? Just give them something. Because we got we ordered like nacho cheese and got like a bunch of fucking corn cheese, where it was like nacho cheese with like creamed corn mixed into it.
The fuck, dude?
I don't know. I didn't. My family tried it. I was just like, no, that's disgusting. Like, fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah, definitely not what we fucking ordered.
They were like, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. And I'm like, no, it's disgusting, and it's not what you ordered. You should have took it back and just give me my fucking money back.
Yeah, yeah. So no, yeah, I assume he's pretty good at it. Well, they offered him a supervisor position already.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because like there's so many people that'll bring out stuff where like one of the things I'm constantly dealing with is I like order a lot of bananas to eat a lot of fruit, like cottage cheese and fruit for breakfast every day, and then like a food bar and fruit for lunch. And so I eat a lot of like bananas and grapes and apples and pears and shit like that.
Right.
And the number of fucking times we order bananas and they fucking pack them in a bag full of like canned goods is ridiculous.
Oh, wow. So it just gets bruised all the fucking hell.
Yeah, so by the time the banana is good, you gotta cut like half that fucker off, and you're like, yeah, I'm getting half a fucking banana now. Cause cunt face at the fucking store doesn't understand that you don't put bananas under like 3 cans of chili.
Yeah. It's like the bread. That's like all that shit should be on the fucking top or in its own fucking separate.
Yeah. And I shouldn't have to call the store and complain.
Yeah.
To get that fucking resolved, like I shouldn't be like, yo, half this banana is gonna be inedible. It doesn't look off now, but you stacked like 5 pounds of fucking canned food on top of it. It's gonna be completely fucking inedible.
Yeah, like that should be like kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like that should be one of the things they fucking tell you. Like, hey, bananas bruise very easily.
Don't put produce in a bag with any other goods that are not produce. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the produce goes in its own bag, nothing else goes in with the produce, even if the bag's not all the way full.
Right.
They can get a half a bag of produce.
I guess.
Yeah.
You can throw in bread with it if you want, but yeah.
No, I would literally just say like the produce goes in its own bag, the eggs goes in its own bag. Like don't fuck around with any of this shit. Like just make it real clear. All the meat goes in one bag on its own. Don't put the meat in with anything else, because All right, I'm at a, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I forget these old games. They're like, they didn't hold your hand and tell you exactly what to do. So, like,
all right, you gotta actually like search it out.
Like I beat the Earth Fiend, the Lich, and now I have a fucking Earth Crystal that's fixed, and now I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, no, that shit was really frustrating, man. Especially because especially back then. Like now, you can at least look it up online. And
yeah, I'm literally looking at a fucking walkthrough right now.
Yeah, you would have to call the fucking Nintendo helpline, which I definitely did a few times.
Yep.
Not a lot. Again, I was really stubborn, fucking just figuring shit out on my. But yeah, there were a few games where you're just like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that? Like, who the fuck figures this shit out on their own? Yeah, like Castlevania 2, one of the ones that was notorious for that, dude. Because it was literally like, okay, you got to go to this dead end spot that you think is just nothing, and you have to have this specific crystal thing activated, and then you got to kneel for 5 seconds, crouch for 5 seconds or whatever.
Oh wow, that's really fucking convoluted already. Like I'm already like, all right, how are you supposed to guess that?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking impossible. People accidentally did it, but fucking. How the fuck would you know that shit?
You know what? That was for those weird word of mouth things. Where like,
yeah, you'd have to.
One day suddenly everybody knows how to do the Castlevania thing, and then everybody's telling everybody. But before that, nobody knows, and then it just weirdly propagates to the entire world all at the same time, and nobody knows how.
Yeah, something like the you remember you get all the lives in Mario Brothers on that one level where the turtle's coming down the ramp right before the end, or the whatever the fuck you call that. But yeah, you can basically get that turtle going where it's bouncing against the thing, and you're just constantly bouncing off of it and getting more points and points and more points
until you get like 99 lives, right?
Yeah, well, it gets into crazy like fucking symbols and shit.
Yeah, but eventually, because they're coins, you just start getting lives.
Yeah, it'll start like because it escalates basically. It kind of almost exponentially, or doubles or whatever. So yeah, eventually it's just one up, like every time you fucking hit it.
Yeah. Because I remember that was a thing that a lot of people did on YouTube early on, where they're like, "Oh, check out this infinite life glitch on Super Mario," and then they show it off there.
Yeah, in the early days. Apparently you can do too many where it will glitch out and just give you a game over the next time you die.
So really?
Yeah. Like if you got too greedy with it.
So you had to be like careful.
Yeah. Because I mean, how many fucking lives do you need anyway?
Yeah, like you want to abuse it, you just don't want to abuse it that much.
Yeah, where the fucking game glitches out. Just fucking game over you.
Man, nobody even changed their fucking dialogue. I kill this lich that's destroying the nearby town, and they're just like, nobody says anything.
Yeah, no words of thanks or anything, huh?
Like, come on, man, at least a thank you. Thank you for making it so my fucking crops will grow out in the field and I don't starve to death. Thank you. One guy's dialogue in there is, "I'm just a farmer," and that's just all he says. like, all right.
I'm just a farmer. I know nothing of appreciation things will do for me.
Yeah, it's weird. Old games. There was one where like so in Final Fantasy there's a bunch of doors that are locked with different kinds of keys. One of them is the Mystic Key. And what do you call it? Brain stop. You gotta get the Mystic Key, and there's like when you do, there's a bunch of places you can go where you couldn't get to before, and now there's like a bunch of treasures and special items that you can get out of them.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because right next to this one place where it's like you get out there and there's like this door is locked with a mystic key. Get the mystic key in order to open this door. And then you go and you talk to the guy that's nearby, and he says, like, that door is locked by the mystic key. You should go get the mystic key if you want to open that door. And you're like, okay, fuck you. Like, I got it from looking at the door. I didn't need this asshole over here to say the exact same thing, you fucking prick. Oh, yawn. God damn, I'm gonna be going to sleep fucking early tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, did I tell you guys I uninstalled fucking Conan Exiles? No more playing that game for me.
Really?
Yeah, it got to the point where I was like, everything I ever like lose or that goes wrong in the game is because shit went wrong with the game. It's not because of like my mistake. Like I didn't do something wrong and then I lost a thrall because it died. The game glitched out and my thrall died. Why am I putting time into this?
Yeah. No, I got pissed. I'm not playing. I'm probably going to uninstall the game that I've been playing forever. Because basically, like, they had this event that was going on, right? And it's basically like, I don't know, it's like a week long, and like, you pay like $5 and you get double rewards like every day for all the 7 days.
Yeah.
Right? So the first day, for some reason, whether it's Google or fucking the game's fault, I couldn't buy anything. Like, it kept doing this weird error message. It's like the 5th time this has fucking happened. Same exact error message and everything. So
that's really fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, and so basically, like, I could finally do it, like, on the second day, but I missed out on the double rewards for the first day through no fault of mine, right? It was either the game and or fault, right? So I'm like, hey, look, I wasn't able to purchase this. I had the money. I was trying to purchase it several times, and I was unable to due to either you, Google, or both. Like, you know, I'd like to get those rewards. And they just fucking were like, I don't know if it was probably automated responses, or it was somebody who just wasn't understanding what I was fucking saying, but they, like, refused to do it. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck you guys, dude.
Yeah, well, you spent money on that shit too, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even like it was a huge rewards I was asked. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a huge thing.
Yeah.
But it's something that was again.
One, it was caused by an issue in their game, nothing to do with you or you know, like you weren't lazy and just didn't bother to sign in.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of the last straw. I was kind of getting tired of their shit anyway, because now they're adding new shit in that fucking...
So that you'd have to spend more money in order to keep up with everything, kind of thing.
Yeah, yet another thing you have to keep fucking spending on. So, yeah. So, all that kind of combination. I'm like, fuck this, dude. Yeah. Actually, it's been almost a full fucking 24 hours since I've even logged into it. And that, you know, it's pretty rare that I go more than 4. You know what I mean? Without logging into it for at least a few minutes.
God damn, dude. You might want to fucking go to like whatever that game is, Anonymous, if there's a version of it.
Yeah, there probably is by now, because there's, well, again, it's the same, it's a similar fucking game type of.
There's a fuck ton of companies out there that just pump those games out. I know, yeah, like they're basically just little endorphin hooks.
Yeah, they really know how to fucking tap into the OCD market.
Well, it's designed so that, you know, it gives you a little boost of endorphin every time you spend money.
Yeah.
So that you'll just keep spending more and more money because it feels good, even if it's only like $5 at a time or like $10 at a time.
Yeah.
You know, shit adds up over like the next several months, you know. Suddenly you're into it for like $1,000 over like the last 3 months and you're like, God damn. But you never necessarily see that part. I'm sure you weren't specifically like spending that much. I'm just saying like that's
I spent
their
way
goal.
more than I had any right to, because I mean, technically, I really should have spent roughly $0.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything I spent above that was really unwarranted. Shouldn't have.
Well,
been
the
happening.
Kona Exiles one was particularly egregious because I put $150 down to buy the game and to buy like the 5
the DLC.
DLC that was there plus any future DLC, all in one shot. So I would never have to spend any more money on the DLC. And then suddenly they just take all the future DLC, turn it into a battle pass, and break it up and charge a bunch of money for it. And suddenly I don't have to I don't get it for free anymore. Like I guess I can go fuck myself. Like what?
Yeah, that seems like a fucking breach of contract.
Seems like blatant fraud to me.
Yeah. Like, you can call it something different, but it's essentially just DLC, and I'm supposed to get all that shit for free.
It's the exact same shit that they would put together in, like, a $25 pack for, like, DLC.
Yeah. Yep. Some shitty shit, man.
Although they do definitely charge more now for anything than they would have had it still been DLC. Like, they've done the math, and it's like, if you add all the things together, it's at least twice expensive as it would have been had they made it just a new DLC pack to put out.
Alright.
So, it's really, really obvious that this is just a giant cash grab, because they're like, we want to make some money while our game is still somewhat relevant, because we're going to put out another game that's going to be broken, and, you know, we want to have more money for that, I'm assuming.
Right.
Which, by the way, if anybody's listening, don't fucking buy Dune. Don't buy that Dune game. That fucking company is horrible. They break that game every fucking 2 seconds, and they've yet to fix any problems.
Is that Dune, D-U-N-E, or are you saying Doom, D-O-O-M?
D-U-N-E. There's a Dune open world survival Dune game coming out from Funcom. Just don't buy from Funcom. If you're looking at games, just don't buy it, because it may be fun looking, but the game will never function, and you'll never ever get to really play it for any length of time without it constantly breaking and you constantly having to look up workarounds because they never fix their games. Like that's just a consistent thing from the company over the last year and a half that I've played the Conan Exiles. Is they just don't fix their games ever. They just don't give a shit.
They have subsidiary of Bethesda by any chance?
I have no idea what you said. Your microphone is awful.
Yeah, I was moving around. I said, are they a subsidiary of Bethesda by any chance?
No, they're not. I think they might have something to do with EA, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I want to say like specifically that they do. I think they're related to EA in some response, but. Whatever, I just fucking would make sure I never buy from that company again. That's all I'm worried about. I don't really care what anyone else does.
I hear you.
There is a game called Grounded that just came out that I might get. But I don't know. I'm going to wait and see if people say that it works really well or not, because if it's like really broken, I'm not interested.
Do you know anybody who played Elden Ring? I heard that one was really good.
Everybody I know that played Elden Ring really, really liked it. I just don't like that style of game, so I would never play it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with whether Elden Ring is good or bad. Just, I can't stand that style of game. I'm not interested in it at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's got to be similar to, like, probably like the Elder Scrolls Online, like that type of shit.
I don't know. I tried to play Elder Scrolls Online, but that was just an objectively badly made game.
Yeah, dude, I was so into that shit. This fucking sucks.
I played for like...
Just to have a place where you can store a decent amount of shit.
I played for like 10 minutes. And within seconds I came to a part where I could not progress any further because I was incapable of killing the guy that I needed in order to go any further in the game.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
well, do I just have... Is this one of those like, oh, well, now that you've got the game, you need to give us an extra like $20 for this little pack of items, and that's the pack of items you need in order to be able to get past the first part. And then every time I come up to a new like challenge, am I going to have to buy another pack of items in order to like not die?
Yeah, dude. It's... Ugh. Yeah, the house thing was really... Although I think later on they made it. But it was a long time later. And well beyond the fucking time I wanted to play.
Yeah.
Still go back.
Yeah, I think Elder Scrolls Online was the same as the Fallout Online thing. It was just a grab for as much cash as they could get out of people.
Yeah.
Which you can easily tell by the merch that they sold to go with it. Fallout had like a Nuka-Cola bottle of rum you could buy.
Oh, yeah.
And they advertised it as like super looking just like the game thing, and it was super cool, and you could buy this rum, and then you make rum and coke. It was so cool. And then it was a shitty bottle of rum in like a fucking plastic sleeve.
Yeah.
That didn't look anything like the pictures they advertised. You're like, Jesus.
Yeah, they made it look like it was an actual bottle that just had Nuka-Cola on it, and instead it's just like a little casing around a shitty bottle.
Yeah, that looked nothing like the advertised pictures, and they didn't... Nobody sued them for fraud over that.
Yeah.
Like, I was really surprised, because genuinely, if everybody that had pre-ordered that just went and got an attorney, and like that attorney represented them all, they could have taken that company for so much fucking money, because that was pretty blatant fraud. Like, there wasn't really any question as to whether that was legal or not. It was very illegal. Like,
yeah.
you can't show one product, take a bunch of money from people, and then deliver an entirely different product. Like, it's not how that works. Like, granted, they have to go after you in court to get get their money back, but still.
Yeah, it's some shitty shit.
I think there were a bunch of other products they sold at the same time, like a backpack and a wrist thing, and like you could buy one of the things from the game that you wear on your wrist.
The Pip
Boy or whatever. Yeah, that thing, and then all of them were like basically fraud, like they were all fake.
Yeah, like one of them, like they showed like something pretty heavy duty bag, and then it was just a shitty, cheap like canvas one that they fucking gave. Or maybe not even that. Maybe it was like...
It was a completely different kind of bag, if I remember right. Like, they showed a backpack, but you just got, like, a shitty grocery bag that was made out of cloth with the printing on it.
Yeah, it was... Ugh. Yeah, but that is... really sucks that they make such great fucking, like... At least
yeah, they have the rights to these really, really great games, and they did originally make really good games, but...
Yeah.
Just over time, they don't care. They just want that money from DLC and shit. They want to get in on that, like, free-to-play model.
Yeah, man. Yeah, as soon as they realized that the idea was going to fix all their fuck-ups, it was pretty much over.
Yep. Yeah, I think the breaking point for me with Conan was... I spent a few hours collecting like 900 gold coins in the game, and they're not like super easy to get. Well, they are at a certain point, but it still takes a long time to get all the materials and shit. And go out, buy these fucking creature eggs so I can go farm more gold and more silver without having to like go mine it all the time. And fucking server kicks me out right after I stick them in a box that they won't stay good forever in, because they have a timer on them. And the server kicked me out, and I couldn't play again until well after they'd all been destroyed.
Dude.
And I was like, whatever, like that's only a couple hours. And I was like, no, wait a minute. Every time I lose something in this game, it's because I got kicked off the server or something went wrong in the game. Like it's never because I did something stupid.
Right.
And I was like, why am I putting this time into this game? This is just a waste of my time. So I just went in the next day, because it was a really nice server, even though it was a public server. It was really nice. A lot of the people on there were really chill. Like, I was even on a Discord group with a bunch of them. So I went on the next day because I'm like, I spent hours and hours collecting this shit. Somebody should get it. So I fucking slowly just took everything apart that I had and gave away everything.
Yeah.
So it took like 3 hours to do because I had a lot of shit.
Right.
But yeah, so I just gave all my materials to some dude, all the weapons I found, all the crazy fucking items and shit, and went my way and uninstalled it because I'm never gonna play that game again. It's not worth my time. Like, I suppose I could play it offline, and that might be somewhat better, but like still, it even then, I don't think it would work.
Yeah, that sucks anyway.
Yeah, because like that would fix the connection problems, but it's not going to fix the just flat out badly programmed game. And it's a shame though, because like as far as like the way games look, that game was absolutely glorious. It looked so pretty. It really was like a Conan the Barbarian world you were like going around in and shit. Like if you watch the old like Schwarzenegger movies,
right.
It literally looked like you were just going around in one of those movies. It was really fun.
Like, cool.
Yeah, it was pretty, like that part of it was definitely awesome. And the whole concept of you basically run out and catch a guy and then break him on your own wheel of pain, and then he does all your fighting and keeps your character alive and everything. That was kind of a neat idea, because if you didn't want to play PvP, it really like lets you go and explore the map and go do a lot of stuff without having to really worry about the combat.
Yeah, having to worry about somebody raiding your base way. Yeah.
Or like the random monsters and stuff that were all over the place killing you, because your guy would just run over and like beat the shit out of them real quick. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a shame. Had a lot of potential. They just didn't want to put the time in to make it work. They spent more time making it, trying to make money off of it, than trying to make the game actually function before you try to make money off of it.
Yeah, it's fucking greed, dude.
And their update went through. Their player base increased. But when I left, the player base was lower than it was on average. At least on that server, there was less people on it at any given time than before the update. So I have a feeling that they're...
Like, they don't realize it's like counterintuitive. Like, you're going to alienate so many people that, yeah, you might temporarily get a boost. Drivers, whatever. You're going to lose it, and you're going to end up with less than you had.
Yeah, I think they're less than they had at this point.
Yeah, you can't see beyond your fucking greed, man.
Well, not only are they less than they had before, but I guarantee less people are going to pay money than would have had they taken the time to make all that stuff work properly before releasing it.
Yeah.
Like, say maybe it took another 6 months to release it all. That would have been fine. Like, I think their player base would have stuck around, and they would have genuinely, like, increased it as it went through, you know? But no, they just had to throw all that fucking...
in their best interest to fucking not do that shit, and still can't fucking help themselves, dude. Bizarre.
Yeah, there was a Reddit page for it that I would occasionally check, because sometimes people would complain about glitches, and the people should talk about, like, well, here's what you do to fix it kind of thing.
Right.
Because generally I just avoid Reddit, because Reddit's full of, like, fucking crazy people and robots. But,
shit.
Like, I got banned at one point, just for, like, pointing out facts. Like I was like, the Hunter Biden laptop is there. There's evidence that strongly suggests this, and like without an investigation and a trial, we'll never know 100% for sure. But it looks like that if we did have one, Biden would be guilty of sedition and fucking what do you call that? The one they can hang you for? Treason. Yeah, like basically just selling the country's best interest for money.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that actually existed and was out there, and they were like, you're banned from this Reddit. Like,
yeah, Reddit fucking Another one, great idea, but yeah, well,
Just run by idiots, you know. Like they allow people to just throw people off of like specific Reddits for no reason.
yeah.
And it's like you should only be banning people if they're doing something illegal. Other than that, like feel free to remove their posts or whatever if it's like not the right form for that. Like, because each Reddit page has its own specific topic.
Right.
But you shouldn't be banning people because they put up something that like you just don't agree with politically or morally or whatever.
Yeah. It's pretty disgusting, man.
Yep. But whatever, you know, like private companies. So apparently, the fact that there's no real room for other companies to compete because they, you know, the powers that be actively try to tear those companies apart. You know, it's like you can't make another YouTube. I'm sorry, there's just no one's going to put together another YouTube. It's not a possibility, and it's not a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
You know, there's the amount of money you would have to put into like that would beggar like Bezos and Elon Musk and Gates and a few other fucking billionaires. You know, like you just the amount of server space you'd have to rent alone, it would just be fucking crazy. What else is going on in the world? Oh, you saw that the fucking Boston lab came up with an even deadlier variant of fucking COVID-19? They literally intentionally made it.
Oh, wow.
It's like 80% effective at like killing the mice or whatever, but they're not humanized mice. Like, it's not something I would really genuinely worry about, like getting out and killing people right now.
Right.
But it's clearly a step in that direction.
Yeah. Gain of function, as they say.
Yeah, very much gain of function. Yeah. Because the virus was not that deadly prior to their research, and now it gained a function of being far more deadly. And there's no benefit to that research. Like, there's no...
Yeah, other than to kill more people.
Yeah, I can't... That's not really a... Like, they're making this vague bullshit up about how, like, well, it'll help us make it, you know, harder for pandemics to harm us in the future. Like, what? By making another one?
Yeah, by making a more deadly version. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, the ideas of...
Now, like, I know I'm not the smartest dude out there, but I'm not that fucking dumb.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty fucking evil. I wish Fauci would get fucking arrested and executed.
They really ought to, because that man is responsible for COVID-19. Like, there's very little doubt. Like, he basically paid a Chinese lab to make COVID-19. They made it, and then we all fucking got financially destroyed by it. And he just made a bunch of fucking money off of it, you know? And now he's free to go do whatever he wants, go hang out in his, like, I'm sure, multiple vacation homes and shit like that. And how many people died from it, you know?
Yeah.
Granted, the numbers were inflated, and it was nowhere near as deadly as they claimed. It was just like a regular flu, but a lot of those people probably wouldn't have died from it, you know? Like,
yeah.
Plus, now you have these people dying from the vaccines. It's like, Jesus, you know, like, and people get mad about, like, if you want to talk about the truth of that, and it's like, what you should be angry about is that they gave you completely untested vaccines that don't work the way they told you they did. Like, people genuinely thought they were going to be, like, free from COVID forever if they got these vaccines. It is like, that's just not a real thing.
Yeah. In fact, obviously they didn't stop the transmission. Like, and what they claim later on, well, it made it milder. You have no fucking proof of that. You know what I mean? You can
no, and in general, the research would tend to indicate that it would go the other way, actually.
Yeah. Most likely compromise your immune system permanently.
I don't know that it would do that, but I know that like previous attempts generally uh, at the same kind of vaccine would make them, whoever took that vaccine, far more susceptible to that whatever the vaccine was supposed to protect against in the future than less, and would make them get more virulent infections than they would originally have gotten. So I don't know. I don't know if it affects like your general immunity from everything after that though.
Yeah, it could. Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely. Some people like seriously fuck up their hearts and shit like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, all those mysterious heart attacks that they're trying to pretend are video games causing them.
Yeah.
Or like the whole group of people that like did a ton of like a whole bunch of those fucking soccer players that suddenly started keeling over dead. And they were like, oh no, that's just weird, random circumstances. It's not that they just got the vaccine a month ago. And that the spike proteins that are supposed to stay localized to the injection site don't actually stay localized to the injection site, and in fact do attack the heart, causing massive coronary issues for a lot of people. It's like, no, your heart just swells a lot when we give this to you, but it's perfectly safe.
Dude. Yeah. I just remember hearing like there's like these fucking college athletes that take it that were in perfect health, no issues with their heart or any of that shit. They're suddenly having like serious fucking heart problems. Yeah. It's fucking nuts, dude.
Well, they actually know for a fact that the vaccines make your heart swell. Like, there's lots of people that have had to, like, stay in the hospital afterwards to, like, fucking be supervised, and they're like, but it seemed to go down, so no big deal. And it's like, nah, it's kind of a big deal when your heart gets swollen. Like, it's not a minor fucking side effect. It's a really serious consequence that may not have any noticeable effect on you now, but will probably shorten your lifespan by a fairly decent amount. Like, because it's not how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts, dude.
Like, for me, it's like I already have high blood pressure and I'm not able to get out and do as much exercise as I need to get out and do. It would be horrifically dangerous for me to take that. To avoid the flu? I mean, come on. Alright, that's weird. Why is there...
And almost every illness tested positive is COVID. Because it's basically similar to shit that was already in existence.
Let's see. Trying to find something in the map here, and I'm like not finding it. It's like the next town I'm supposed to go to seems to be unreachable.
That's fun.
Yep. Super, super awesome. The only downside to this is this isn't one of the newer games versions of Final Fantasy, because there was they made a really like fancy remake that they put out a while ago, and I forget what system it was on. I know I owned it, I just don't know how to figure out where to play it again. But you could just turn off random encounters when you wanted to.
Oh, nice.
But there's a lot of random encounters. Like, you get to move, like, 10 squares before you're in another fight. Like, it's fucking obnoxious when you're just trying to, like, look for shit.
Yeah. No, I used to hate that in fucking games. Zelda 2 did that a lot. That's going way back, but Yeah, Zelda 2 had a lot of that shit. And you had to fucking grind to have any chance. So you had to fucking,
Oh yeah.
you kind of had to do this shit over and over and over again.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're definitely like my characters are way over the level they need to be to go any further in the game.
All right.
Because I enjoy the grinding aspect, but yeah, no, it can get pretty tiresome at a certain point. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, if there's at least a little variety, I like grinding too. Like in that game, it was literally exactly the same battle every fucking time.
yeah,
So
like if you're in the ocean, you're gonna fight the same things. If you're in the, if you're on the forest, it's always gonna be the same things. Yeah, it's like you're always gonna fight wolves, or you're always gonna fight the fucking weird sea monkey things that pop up on your fucking ship.
yeah, yeah,
So it's very frustrating in that respect.
yeah. So at least modern games are again that little bit of variety that makes it
Yeah.
not monotonous.
Well, and these old games, like there was only so much stuff they could put on them. So I mean, Final Fantasy, yeah, it's repetitive, but there was a lot more stuff to do in this game than there was in a lot of the other games at the time. Like you could get a lot more hours out of this game than anything else you could play.
Some of the shit they did, like shit, the original Zelda game, dude. Like they packed a lot of shit into a fucking tiny amount of memory, dude. Like I get that the graphics were fucking low, so that it didn't require a huge amount of memory, but still, like they put a fucking decent, like fun game into that shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, originally the focus for a lot of these game companies was make a really fun game.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's make a profitable game. Who gives a shit if people like it? As long as it makes money, we don't really care. Even if it's dead in the next, 2 months or whatever. Like we'd rather put out a bunch of games that are going to make a small amount of money, in the hopes that maybe one lands big.
Yeah, yeah. And then make shitty sequels to that one.
Yeah, and then they just let it die out, and then put out another game and hope that it gets bigger. But then there's other companies, like I know, like Slime Ranch was awesome, and Slime Ranch 2 is in alpha, and it's awesome. It's like so good. It kept everything you wanted it to keep from the old game, and updated and made a lot of the stuff that you hated from the old game like non-existent in a really, really well done way. And it's in alpha and incredibly, like, way more stable than any other game I've played in a long time. You know what I mean? Like, for a brand new game, like, that works in alpha state that well, I'm like, that's fucking insane. Because, like, it's a million times better than any Bethesda game as far as stability and stuff.
Yeah, bar's pretty low on that, but yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah. At least there's companies out there trying to do shit.
Yeah, and so I'd like to support them. Like, I definitely bought that game. I'm 100% into paying for good shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to reward. Thanks, guys, for actually giving a shit about the product.
Yep, exactly. It's like what I watched the Ikemen, Ike or Ikai. Some fucking movie that got made like this year that was actually pretty good, and I'm like, I'm gonna look for the fucking production company, because I watched it on one of those pirate sites, so it's not like I paid for it, but it was a good movie, so I'm kind of like, all right, where can I get the DVD then? Like, can I go buy the DVD and like support that group of people that made that movie that I really fucking enjoyed the hell out of? Like, because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I ain't mind that at all.
Yeah, like, I'm happy to pay for that. Or, like, I'm happy to see, like, Ordinary Sausage get, like, sponsorships, and like, there's a a new thing I've seen recently on TikTok, and well, not on TikTok because I'm not on TikTok, but they're on YouTube, and they're reposting from videos they made on TikTok, and it's a dude that every week, once every week, he just rolls up dice to make a random sandwich.
Oh.
So, like, first he rolls and he's like, all right, what kind of bread am I going to have? Roll the dice. All right, it's going to be pumpkin spice bread. All right, well, let's see what the fuck goes on here. Then he rolls for, like, whatever the main protein is. Like, if you're going to have, like, bologna or peanut butter, or you're going to have, like, chicken, or... And there's, like, a lot of weird shit that he'll throw in there just as, like... Because it's all random anyway.
Right. I don't know why ordinary sausage does something.
Does
I get
what?
that it's people fucking with you and they like, they find it amusing or whatever, but did you really have to make the toothpaste sausage?
Yeah, fair point. I mean? But it was funny as fuck to watch, and he did it.
Yeah. He's like, yep, well, that just tasted like warm toothpaste. Like, yeah, dude. Almost like it was pretty pointless to fucking...
Like, why did you feel the need to do that? All right.
Yeah. Like, I know there's, it surely must have been a better fucking shitty option to go with. One that at least had some semblance chance of not being horrible.
You would think. But you'd be wrong.
Right.
I'd love to see these two guys do something together.
Ordinary sausage and sandwich guy?
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, maybe ordinary sausage, makes a weird sandwich that this guy rolls up or something, and then he puts it into the sausage, tries one, puts the other one in a dehydrator, and then sends it to sandwich guy to put on a sandwich or something. Like, I could see a lot of funny shit going on there. Like, they could I'm sure they could come up with some sort of really good, like, what do you call it?
Decent collab between the two.
Yeah. Some sort of collab that would be very entertaining. Oh, I know why. I'm so fucking dumb. I think I figured out why I can't find where I'm supposed to be, because I'm not supposed to be in a boat. I'm supposed to have traveled through, like, a path that got cleared away from an animation that didn't function right.
Oh.
Like some fucking mountains got knocked through, and I should have just walked through those. God damn it.
Yeah, well.
That's funny, though.
Yeah. It definitely sucks, though, when you realize that, shit.
I just spent like 20 minutes, like, going all these places I didn't need to go.
Yeah. But it happens. Yeah, damn it. Oh shit, how many do I need? I got 170, 150, 20, I don't know, 30.
Man.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh god, I got the worst fucking muffins from this place yesterday. I ordered like breakfast, and I also ordered like an extra couple of muffins because I was like, I'll just have like breakfast the next day. It'll be some leftover muffins.
Yeah. What
And
kind of muffins are you talking about? Like blueberry?
Huckleberry.
Or more like cornbread or
Huckleberry, which I think is essentially the same as blueberry.
Right.
Just like a slightly different blueberry that's less common. It tasted like blueberry. And their shit was real lackluster. Like, I'm never ordering again. But the muffins were stale the next day. Like, one day after I ordered them. Which, to me, says they're probably warming up old muffins and then selling them as new. Like, those muffins were probably a day or two old at least. Because, like, a fresh muffin that you bake in like, one day is going to be good for a couple of days.
Yeah, it should be really soft and fucking...
Yeah, for like at least a day or two, it should be, like, it should be good for probably 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Before it starts to go stale. Even if you're not putting in any of, like, the commercial shit. Like, even if it's just all just, like, flour and salt and water and sugar and the fruit and everything.
Yeah, even without a shitload of preservatives, good for a minimum of a day. Usually at least a couple. Shit.
Yeah, it should be like 2 or 3 days minimum.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these guys are doing, but that was like very disappointing. And then I ordered French toast with fruit, and you get 2 oversized slabs of French toast that were they weren't even that big. They were like okay, but like they were a little overcooked, and the batter that they dip it in is way too eggy, so it was really rubbery.
Oh wow!
And the amount of fruit you get, imagine how much fruit would you think? Like you're like, all right, I want a couple of big pieces of French toast. It's paying like $15, and I got no syrup of any kind from them, which I thought was weird.
Oh, wow!
You're weird.
I am weird. Well, you're a Canadian. You should definitely understand not getting syrup with your French toast. That's a weird one. But it was like a tablespoon of huckleberries they included with the fucking French toast. It was barely enough for like one piece of toast.
I would hope that would be illegal in Canada. Like not a civil matter either. Criminal.
It's not illegal, but I mean, it's enough to get your business shut down because no one's gonna come over and go your business.
The marketplace will take care of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think this place is going to be around long. They're a new restaurant in town. I've never heard of them before, so fairly certain they're going to be gone.
Yeah, it doesn't sound.
Well, it could also it could also be that they didn't really have much of a choice because if you're a new business and things aren't going well, because you have to understand businesses are struggling right now, and I don't blame them for having to cut corners, because what else can you do, really? I mean, Joe Biden ain't helping you. The economy is not in a very good state, so if that's all you can afford, that's all you can afford. And so I like, without knowing more, I pity them more than anything else. And if people are speaking ill about them and they can't help it, I mean, it is what it is.
It's just a shitty time to start a business. Horrible idea. Start fucking really any kind of right now.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the business is. I mean, if you're like one of those like prepping kind of companies, then you're gonna do really well.
My cousin has a bar and a restaurant bar, and he had to open up a new location because of like all the food that he was selling via the delivery food thing. So if you have good food, now is a great time to open up a restaurant. People are going to want that delivery, and they're going to pay way more money than they should. But you have to have good food.
Yeah.
If you got like DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that, then that really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one good thing about the delivery services. Again, it used to have to be like, if you wanted delivery, you had to actually hire your people.
Well, yes and no. I mean,
well, it's good for the restaurants. It's really bad for the people that are actually doing it. And some restaurants, I think, got fucked on that.
Oh, some of the restaurants did?
Some of them do. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is, but I know that some places are losing money to that kind of stuff all the time. Because like maybe they're not big enough to eat the losses.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, part of the
Oh, wait, do the restaurants pay part of the fucking the delivery shit, the delivery fee? I thought it was essentially just the.
If somebody says I didn't get my food or
I gotcha.
Any of that kind of shit, yeah, it can cost them a lot of fucking money.
I gotcha. I was thinking that they had to actually like pay the delivery fees and shit as well as ordering, paying it.
I mean, some people are gonna.
That unreasonable, I guess. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, some people will struggle. Yeah, some people might struggle with the cost if that is such a thing. Like you were mentioning before, there's also the delivery problem. Because what if what if if it takes too long? Who knows? We're talking like it used to be businesses would have like their own people delivering it. But now you have like these like people just starting out and they're not really delivery people. They're like grandmothers delivering stuff or something who need a little extra money, which is kind of nice for them. But at the same time, They're not equipped for this. So there's going to be a few hiccups.
And they're not
going
to give a shit about your business, about the restaurant.
Well, if the delivery driver eats half the food in the order and the guy says, hey, I only got half my food, I imagine the restaurant is forced to eat the cost.
Yeah.
I doubt Uber's taking the... I don't think the people that run the main company are taking the hit for that. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, well, we'll just eat that loss, no problem. You guys just, whatever.
Dude, one of the people I follow, we were watching this fucking video of this fucking... some doorman at a building or whatever had apparently eaten like a couple of slices of this bitch's pizza that she had delivered.
Oh, that's fucked up, dude. I'd be pissed.
Yeah. I don't know. It's possible that he normally had that. Like he would normally people would normally give that to him, like as payment or whatever, as favor.
I'm not giving the fucking doorman in the hotel or the place I live like part of my fucking food when I order it. I don't order it for him.
I wouldn't either, but I think some people did, and it's possible that he just confused this bitch with somebody that would normally do that. Although either way, I feel like you should wait for them to do it on every single fucking time, unless they said before, like, hey, grab a couple. Anytime
I would say no, thank you, because I think that's pretty inappropriate.
Yeah, and it's most likely the guy's just...
I think he's just an asshole, yeah, more than likely. I mean, that's why I stopped having DoorDash, because, like, DoorDash fucking drivers keep eating the fucking food that they're supposed to deliver. Like, you'd always be missing something from your order.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There again, like, if you got... That's part of what I was talking about with the whole, like, restaurants having their own delivery trucks. Because that, you're not going to get that with them,
right?
Because I mean
because they work for you, you're going to be able to go directly for them and be like, you lose money because you're not delivering the food we give you to deliver.
Well, and it could also be that the people delivering for DoorDash, they work for like DoorDash. They don't work for like McDonald's.
Yeah, and so like that's what I'm saying. Like a restaurant, if they can't go after the person who's eating the food. And I guarantee DoorDash isn't taking the loss. They're passing that loss to the company. If you're like, when you go on the little website afterwards, you're like, I didn't get like the 5 bean burritos out of my order are missing, and they're like, all right, we'll give you back your money for those 5. I guarantee that comes from the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like it comes out of their pocket. It's not coming out of DoorDash's pocket. That's for sure.
Yeah. So it's pluses and minuses.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But for small businesses, that's not feasible. For like a Taco Bell, they're still going to make money all over, like in over the whole set of businesses they have. They're going to keep making money. But for like a small business that has maybe one location, that happens like 10 times in a row. Maybe they can't pay their rent next month, like because a lot of those places are really close to the edge.
Yeah, that can literally make or break it. Even if you have a fucking superior product, dude.
Exactly. And this business that I bought my stuff from did not have a superior product at all.
Right.
No, it was pretty shit.
That's amazing to me. Like, dude, why the fuck would... Especially in an area... San Francisco? Or maybe I'm giving San Francisco credit, but I would assume there's a lot of really good places to eat there.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a fuck ton of restaurants that are great.
Yeah.
Just not that one.
I'm kind of always amazed that there's a place that's going to open and just some mediocre, like, at best, food. Like, why would you even fucking attempt that, dude?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah, like in, New York City, San Francisco, fucking, any big city, really. Why the fuck you would attempt to have a mediocre product and bother investing?
I don't know. I don't understand why a lot of these places do it, but yeah, there's a lot of places that start out that are just real shitty restaurants.
Could just be hiccups. I don't know.
I just assume it's people that are just bad at running a business. They're just like doomed to go out of business because they just didn't do it right.
Yeah, some of the ones you see on like the Gordon Ramsay fucking Kitchen Nightmares or whatever the fuck that show was. Yeah, some of them just like, why? No, I think it's good. And like, I'm telling you, it's not. Your customers are telling you it's not. Like, this is and why. Failing, one of many usually. It's usually a lot of reasons.
Well, that's the other thing with Kitchen Nightmares. I mean, there was a couple of businesses that he helped out, and they did do pretty well, but then they went back downhill. Some of them did.
Yeah.
And
the shit that he implemented that was working, like, we stopped doing that. I went back to doing it the way we were doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there was that. But then the other sad part was when he'd go, like, Gordon actually went back to some of the old restaurants, and you find out that some of the guys who ran that committed suicide. Oh my God, Oh yeah, I think that happened 5 times. Yeah, I think that happened 5 times. And then,
damn, that's kind of brutal.
Well, he did like, what was it, 20 restaurants, and 5 of them, or it was either 5 or 3. But I mean, 1 is too many. So it was sad. So I don't know if he still does the Kitchen Nightmare stuff. I kind of hope he doesn't. But at the same time,
really.
I mean, it's got to be emotionally devastating to think, yeah,
because Gordon Ramsay, like, you kind of view him as kind of a prick, but he actually seems like a halfway decent guy for somebody with that level of fame, at least.
Yeah,
like he really gives a shit.
Yeah, I used to know someone who had a daughter, and she was a chef, and Gordon Ramsay was actually in my city, doing autographs and book signings and all that. And my friend's daughter actually, said, "Oh yeah, I'm actually a chef." And Gordon said, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking of opening up a restaurant here. You want a job?" And she said, "No. It's not that I don't like you or anything, and I know a lot of what you do is just for show, but at the same time, I know some of that's real. Like, I please sign my book and have a nice day."
Oh shit. Oh, I love these flamethrower guys, dude.
Huh.
Dude, some of these enemies are like guys with flamethrowers. They have the flame, whatever, fuel on their back. So if you have a fucking sniper rifle and you fucking hit if you hit that, just a big explosion. So satisfying.
I'm gonna head out and we'll see how gaming's doing.
Oh, we're about ready to end up here anyway, so.
Okay, yeah. I came late. I thought I'd at least pop in and say, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Nice for stopping by.
Yeah, sorry you didn't have a chance to sit around and talk about more things like the fucking super virus, the guy at Boston Dynamic, which, by the way, I don't believe exists.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason I say it doesn't exist is because I think it's propaganda. Try to sound weird, because they want to bring back the lockdowns and everything, and they can't do that because people aren't scared of it anymore. Oh, but if you think it's here on your home soil, then yeah, you'll be scared. But the thing is that in America it's illegal to do that kind of stuff. So why would they be making it? They would be shut down immediately. But here comes
their claim. Everything I've heard from like their press releases is that they're supposedly it's going to help them make it to stop those things in the future.
Yeah, but
which doesn't really make any sense. But whatever.
No, well, and there again, like I said, it's illegal to do it. Like
gain of function is illegal in the U.S. for sure.
So therefore, like, this is
and
clearly
it's openly funded by Fauci, so like everybody knows. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's illegal, that means that these businesses or these universities are committing crimes, and that's obviously not happening. So that's why I say it's propaganda. I don't think it's
not entirely out of the realm of possibility at all.
Yeah, honestly, nothing's surprising nowadays, dude.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we are color quits then.
All right, man.
Yep. Later.
All right. Take care. Rabble, rabble, rabble.